Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla. Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time has come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than red counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, guerrilla cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we ran away, and we will not be caught. Would not give up the ghost when they left us all for dead. They decapitated us, but we just grew another head. Chairman Mao, Jamie Howe, Ho Chi Minh, Asif Din, Václav Havel, Graham Saville, No Surrender, Percy Fender, Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket.
Fuck off! Just fuck off!
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That one's for Messy Jez. He was probably swearing out at me as
Oh dear. Good
as the
start.
GPL didn't come in once again. Something's happened with one of our feeds. It's not working. Oh well. I don't know which one it is either.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Yep.
So maybe it's Facebook. I don't know what's happened with that. I have to see. Did I not press? Oh,
It says Netherlands still
where?
on that. On the Facebook.
Oh, I didn't
Oh,
change
well.
the name. Doesn't matter.
Welcome to Cricket Cricket.
Yeah, well, it's been a long day already. We'll have a little production notes on here. It is now Pakistan versus Zimbabwe. We're back for the double header. I'm joined by Jack and I'm joined by Messy Jez. I should get the teams up because that's the right thing to do. Here we go. Playing 11 for Zimbabwe is Wesley Madavera, Craig Irvine, Milton Shumba, Sean Williams, Sikandar Raza, Regis Jakabva, Ryan Burl, Luke Youngway, Brad Evans, Richard Ngarava, and Blessings Mazarabani. Pakistan, imagine pretty much unchanged. Babar Azam, Mohammed Rizwan, Shah Masood, Iftikhar Ahmed, Haider Ali, Shadab Khan, Mohammed Nawaz, Mohammed Wazim, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Harris Ralph, and Nazim Shah. It's pretty much unchanged, isn't it? Mohammed Wazim might not have played in the last game. But I can't remember. That was against India the other day.
Hyder Ali, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ali's coming, sits out, and Wazim Junior's coming.
Okay, fair enough. Forgot what I was going to say. All right, chat, say something.
Yeah, well, it could be another thriller. Zimbabwe, they chose to bat first, didn't they?
I think that's the wise thing to do for the smaller teams.
Why?
Because I think they have trouble chasing runs. They have some hitters. And if they go out there free to hit without having a target necessarily in mind and just go and play, they might get to a target that is moderately defendable. Whereas when, like we saw with Netherlands, yes, even earlier, if you're a Dutch player, you might want to believe, but in the back of your mind, you must be thinking, shit, I've got to get 170 against these guys. And knowing what your record is, you probably don't think you're going to get there.
Yes.
And, you know, the lesser teams will, as I said earlier, you know, every once in a while get a score that is defendable for them if they just hit out. So that's why I think they're probably better off batting first.
Have you opened the GPL?
Yeah. I have opened the GPL. Messi just missed it by 1 run earlier.
How much bunts is in there now?
Nah, how much? 280.
281 quid.
I don't. Did we get over 300 quid earlier? We did, didn't we, in the summer? You won.
I don't think we did. I don't think we went over 300.
290s. I thought we got to 300.
I was just going to say, in terms of this game, I'm really looking forward to this next half hour or so. To see Ralph and Afridi on this pitch, which seems to me that this drop-in Perth is getting faster and faster each year.
Yeah,
and it's
like
really getting. You know, the other night it was a really quick wicket, and I think the bowlers sort of just revved themselves up for this sort of wicket. So there'll probably be plenty going over the keeper's head for 4 byes and that sort of thing. But there's
go for it.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be very interesting to watch. I don't give Zimbabwe a snowflake's chance in hell, to be honest.
Well, the thing is, if it's really quick, it comes really quick off the bat. You get a couple of quick nicks over the keeper's head and stuff. This man's going to open the bowling.
It's always time for Shaheen Afridi.
No, not that other guy, that Shaheen.
It's always time for Shaheen Afridi.
No, not that other guy, he used to find the ball.
Shaheen Afridi, Shaheen Afridi.
Now, was it Craig or Sean opening?
Craig.
Day's work for Craig Irvine.
I thought he was a plonker. I like that.
Wesley, life is peaceful here. Go Wesley, where there's lots of beer. Go Wesley, to begin a match to you. Go Wesley, this is what we'll do.
Jingles that rarely get played.
Pardon?
Jingles that rarely get played.
Yeah, I like that one though.
Yeah, it was alright.
That's good.
Right, here we go, finally. Shaheen Afridi is over the wicket, bowling at Madavira. It bowls a full toss, middle stump. Well, it's worked square on the leg side. No one out in the deep, being chased by the fielders. And the first 3 of the game is off the first ball. Love the fact that we're getting 3s.
I do think a 3, there's a lot of drama in a 3, isn't there? It usually involves a good shot, usually a piece of fielding, the batter's running up and down.
But, you know,
runs on the board.
Any time the ball goes out to the boundary in an IPL match, you're lucky if there's a 2, and a 2's tight.
Yeah.
Whereas here, a 3 might be tight, but I mean, there have been plenty of 3s. What was it? In the Pakistan scored, or India scored 7 or 8 3s in the chase or something stupid like that. It's great. It's good stuff.
Love a 3.
Love the big boundaries. It gives the bowler something as well.
I quite like short boundaries as well, though.
Yeah.
Preferably if there's like a road the other side of the boundary.
Well, yeah, that can be quite fun. Craig,
like Sharjah.
Irvine picks that up leg side, goes over the short man, goes out into the deep, and there's no one. They were offering 13.5 for the fall of the first wicket. Even I'm not that daft.
13.5.
13.5. That's sharp. That's harsh. It'll be about 20 now. I mean, I'll go under about 24. So if they get another 4 runs, I will go. Well, they're offering 18.
Yeah, I mean,
now.
They could have 5 wides and you're halfway there already, aren't you?
Precisely. And in the opening spell with only 2 fielders out, a couple of sneaky edges. Shaheen Shah Afridi comes in, bowls. Oh, leading edge, nearly caught. A battle point, but it bounces just before him. And I'll go through for a single, 6 for none.
3-2-1 so far.
3-2-1, 6 off the first over so far with 3 balls to go. Will it be a wicket?
So we need 4 or 5 and a 6.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Or 1-2-3. I quite like the symmetry of that. 3-2-1, 1-2-3
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
a good over.
Would be a good over as well. It'd be 12 with no boundary as well. That'd be quite impressive in a T20. Midavari faces up, nicely driven, straight back down, beats the inside of mid-off, who's pretty wide, Babar Azam, who isn't the greatest fielder, let's be honest. And there's a 4. We're on for all the scores possible in an over is still possible in this over. That must be a piece of history.
2 + 2 is on man.
The travelling Zimbabwe report, you see, there's about
Yeah, no,
80,
it's
200
good. It's
on.
good. Yeah.
along with us, we've been following. I think have we done every Zimbabwe game so far possible? We did all 3 of their qualifiers. We might have missed one. Yeah, we did. We didn't do the South Africa ZIM game, did we? Or did we? I wasn't here. We might have done it.
Yeah, that was the one with the rain.
Yes.
Who said that this is a rivalry game?
I haven't. Who? Someone stupid. That's a really nice shot. Beautifully timed out through the covers. Quick outfield as well. It's heating up in Perth. 4 more.
Yeah. That was a great shot.
There's not one boy for me, I must have 2 or 3, I need 4.
See, my under 13.5 would have been done already after 5 balls.
Did you go over?
No, I didn't. I didn't bet on it. I prefer under because I do think there'll be an early wicket. But it's a good one to get this over out of the way.
No swing so far. He's gone full every ball, hasn't he? And it's just been straight.
It's the Fremantle Doctor, not that it'd be in play right now.
Nah.
Has it been neutered by the new stadium?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, a little bit of swirl gets in, but that's about it.
Terry Alderman wouldn't like it then.
No,
Shaheen Shah
no.
Afridi bowls across Madavera, who lets it go through to the keeper, and there ain't no run. I remember that series when he got about 36 LBWs in a 5 or 6 match series. Horrific.
The good old days of home umpires, eh?
Yeah, well, I mean, they all looked out, to be honest. I mean, Terry Alderman used to bowl straight as straight. He used to get it knit and straight and bowl very full. He had Gooch, on a string in that series. Christ, it was horrible to watch.
Yeah. Ravi's joined us. Ravi now. He says, can this one at least not be the 3rd Bear game of the day? It's been a very long day. I mean, you guys missed the first game, but starting my 3rd T20 of the day does seem a long day.
Yeah, wow.
And Colin Soda says, I like the way Jack makes a comment, then turns to Bear like he's dead for acknowledgement. Yeah.
Well, you know. I certainly could be your day. You're 30. I'm 51.
Yeah, well, it's it happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Nassi is in for the first ball of the second over. Gets hammered through the offside. Irvine gets himself off the mark with a 4.
Whoa.
Now my innings going, great guns. I hit the ball, 4 runs. I hit the ball and it went for 4 runs.
This man is bowling.
When the sea shot and told, he said to his dad that you're the man of the house now because Nazeem Shah is just that good.
I love that end note. That was a good shot by Craig Over. 18 for none. Carry on like this, they'll be on 200. That'll put pressure on Pakistan. Mind you, the fucking Rizwan and Barrel will knock it off on their own, won't they? That's another class wheat shot. 2 full and on the pads. Whoa. And clipped through mid wicket, and that's 4 more. This is madness. Bit too full, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and as I said, no swing as well. So if you're going to put it up there, just sort of time it.
Yeah.
Coming on really nicely.
I mean, that's the thing.
They were talking to Afridi before the game, and he was talking about pitching it further up because of the bounce. And they've obviously taken that to heart and they're paying the price.
Pitched it too far up.
Yeah.
I still think you want to bowl a length, don't you? That just get higher, like that one.
That looked a lot better.
Yeah, that went across Irvine, and there is a no run through the keeper. It's just a really nice pitch to bat on, isn't it? I mean, I think this is the best pitch so far in the tournament. If you're a fast bowler, you get something out of it. Comes onto the bat nicely, consistent bounce, and, good pace off the track. And the batsmen like pace onto the bat as well. So
you tell Aaron Finch that.
Well, yeah. Driven a little bit aerial by Irvine. Bounces just before mid-off, and there is no run. 8 off this over, 22 for none in the second over. Really good start by Zimbabwe. And this is it. They get freedom of expression. Don't have to worry about it. Throw the bat at the ball. They've got a good start now already after 2 overs. You've got to feel confident. Carry that on from there. Get yourself to a competitive score.
250.
Yeah, well, the 250 would be nice. Yeah, no, I mean, get to 160, 170. I mean, Pakistan are fragile, man. That's cut down into the ground, bounces, but it's fielded at backward point. There's no run. I mean, if you can put 160 against Zimbabwe, these are all big ifs, but if you get Baba and Rizwan early, I'm sure you can put some, fears into.
Pressure on Iftikhar.
Yeah, well, exactly. You can put some fear into Pakistan. I mean, their batsmen don't have particularly great strike rates throughout the side, do they? And we saw against England they were pretty fragile.
Yes.
Anyway, Naseem Shah comes in, last ball of the second over. Seems to come back in a little bit towards Irvine, but he guides it nicely down to third man. And there'll be a single. Who's doing tweets? Messi.
I am. Josie Oak says Messi's old enough to be the Bears' dad, so we've got 3 generations.
Yeah,
and
you
Bob wants to know if you're going to do a DNA test live on air.
Pretty much guarantee no.
Have you ever done a DNA test? Find out where you're from?
I had my DNA swabbed by the cops once.
Oh yeah, what crime did you commit?
Well, I didn't commit any crime. Oh no, what I have? Weed possession. Coming back from a club in London, when they had the Ring of Steel, which I don't know if you were around there. I mean, so after the IRA bombed the Baltic Exchange in the 90s, they had the Ring of Steel, which is basically around central London, their police post. Come back from a club at midnight, stopped by a copper on
pretty
just
early
before Blackfriars Bridge.
Club.
Yeah, it was Meltheads on a Sunday, and it shut at midnight because it was Sunday rules. Mohammed Wazim is in, sprays it wide. That should be given as a wide.
I think it's just inside the line.
No,
Oh.
yeah, it's definitely a wide.
Come on, ump.
141
Get
k's,
the
but it was a
game on.
wide. Stopped. Police with an excuse. You're playing my music too loud in my car.
Were you pissed up?
No, I was sober as a judge. In fact, they breathalyzed me. Stupidly, I had some weed in my back pocket. Normally I had it in my sock, but I had it in my back pocket. So, and said she was going to search me, so I kind of admitted to it. It was a tiny bit of weed. Chopped onto his stumps by Irvine.
Well,
Goes through to the keeper, and there's no run. Then they called. Because I said we come back from a club, they called a fucking van and had about 8 coppers in there. Gave me a breath test, which came out negative because I hadn't been drinking in the days. I never used to drink and drive those days. And then, so they called another van with another detector. Still wasn't. And then they took me to the station for a tiny bit of weed. Fuckers. Strip searched me.
did they?
Yeah, cunts. Sorry, listeners. And eventually let me go at about 5 in the morning. Wazim is in. That's into
not
the
what you want.
thigh pad. No, into the thigh pad of Irvine. There's a leg by. Oh, it's given to him. Maybe it came off his glove into his thigh.
They've already pulled their length back, Pakistan, haven't they?
Yeah.
So
Now I'm going to go under.
What's the...
Mogg has reinvested some of his winnings from when South Africa lost the other night, and he's put 4 picks into the GPL already.
Oh, there you go. I don't know what's
So we're up
happening
for
with
283 quid.
yeah. It's a big pot and it's climbing. Can we get it to 300 quid, please, during this match?
Oh, hello.
That's come on quick to Madaviri. He's gone to pull it. It's nowhere near. He's so late on it. It's unbelievable. It's smashed into his chest. It may have gone up into his... No, it's hit on the arm because he looks in pain. He's been called through by Irvine now, and it's a 1 run.
Right, how does this GPL thing work?
You've entered it
No, I
before.
haven't. Well, a long time ago.
You have to log into the website.
I'm in the website.
You have to buy tickets, and
I've got I've got 5 tickets.
Then you just go to the competitions tab and you enter.
But when does it shut? So I want maximum
It ends at 12:45.
12 foot. Oh, half an hour.
Yeah, you got half an hour.
I'm doing ball by ball for the next stint, so I apologise in advance to the listeners that will have to tolerate me.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, of course, you should go as late as you can to get into it, to know what's on the board and da-da-da-da. So
We've
yeah,
got some people already punted there, haven't we?
yeah, that's Mog. You've got 296, 304, 318, and 335.
He looks alright, Medivira, doesn't he? He has
Yeah.
He's just been pinged in the arm, I think. Andy, you can bring me another beer, could you? I quite enjoyed that first one.
It's past the yard arm.
Yeah, it's past the yard arm. Had the first one started before the yard arm, but you know.
Dear. Well, you haven't got the problems I've got. I was just about to log on, and the stream of liquids came down from the light socket above. Fucking possum in the roof just pissed through the fucking lights.
Oh, mate. No, you don't get that on fucking normal broadcast, do you? What the fuck? That's nasty.
Did you get it out?
I was fucking fuming because it came down on top of the disc and splashed everywhere.
Oh, man. Doesn't it fuse the
Pull a
light
bucket
fitting as
out.
well? Yeah, exactly. Go out and fucking shoot
No,
it.
it's one of those self-contained LED thingies.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
How are you going to get the possum? You're going to poison it?
Oh, the
Gas it
possum's
out?
been up on the roof for years.
can't have
It's my
possum.
project for the next 9 months to get the fuckers out. They make so much noise fighting up there.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Wazim is in, and it's deflected, down to third man for a single by Irvine. He's 13 off 11. Manavira's 11 off 5, and Zimbabwe at 27 for none. Very productive first 2 overs. Pulled it back this over as Wazim. Bowled a wide, couple of leg byes, and a single. Baba Azam, who doesn't need the fielding by example, one would say, I don't think.
I think he tries.
He tries.
Yeah, just not.
I didn't say he didn't try. He's not the greatest fielder in the world. Driven, square, nicely. Good shot by Madavira. Gets it down to backward point. Gets himself 4 more runs. 1, 2, 3, 4.
They're loving this pace, aren't they?
Yeah.
I bet it's probably reasonably similar to home conditions, you'd think, for Zimbabwe. Of the smaller nations, they're probably the team most equipped
You
to
star, Andy.
sort of deal with a bit of bounce, bit of pace.
Yeah, that's why I've got South Africa. I think will be reasonable in this tournament. They're the same. I think they like it coming on. Sort of, what was that? Fencing at one outside his off stump. Hand came off the bat. Horrible
Know
shot.
what it was,
No foot movement. Yeah, just wangled his bat out there. Goes through to the keeper, and there's no 131 for none. Zimbabwe
So
up
that
to
means
3.
Harris Ralph will be the next one at this end, I bet, and that will be very interesting. Angelic Skooker says, evening all, just switched over from the WBBL match tonight. Not much closer than the 2 World Cup games, in truth. Rene Russo earlier was majestic. He was fantastic. He and de Kock just killed it for the first 15 overs. Warren, who checked in earlier today, saying morning all, checks in with later in the morning all. And Angelic Scooters puts in quotes, in those days I didn't drink and drive. Yeah.
Look, I have been known.
Does that mean you are now?
No, well, you know, that's driven, and he kind of half stopped at mid off. It's Baba.
We'll give him 50. We'll give him 50% of a 4 there.
Kind of sprawled and half stopped it.
A good
they got that for
fielder,
2.
it's a single. A
Yeah.
bad fielder, it's a 4.
Yeah.
Average fielder, 2.
2. Yeah, average fielder. And look, I've been known to. This place is so close to home. I've done the classic. I know where I'm going several times in this place.
Well, so there's only Rosers listening.
Yeah, exactly. No Rosers. Don't listen.
Only
You don't know
second
where we
round.
are. That's Hoyt. That's a good shot. Off. No, that's a good bit of fielding.
Well done.
Attempted Hoyt down the leg side. He was a bit late on it, was Irvine, therefore got an inside edge. But it didn't mean the man who's short on the 45 managed to sprawl across and stop it going past him for 4. They did get a single, however, 34 for none. Good start here by Zimbabwe.
Yeah, it's one of those things as well for some of these smaller teams. If they get a good start, then they can snowball it to some extent.
That's
They
my
don't
point.
have to play with so much fear that they're going to get no runs whatsoever.
Exactly.
It's
That's my point. And if you have the added incentive of no one knows what a good score is here, just carry on going. I think they're better off batting first. That's my theory anyway. Down the leg side, Naseem Shah. And of course, that will be one of these.
what was your under?
39.5, I think now.
Ooh.
They were still only offering 13.5 runs, but I figured they'd get a wicket eventually. Oh, did it not go through there?
You might have got away with
Oh, I
that.
might have got away with that one.
A profitable fuck up.
A profitable fuck up. It's happened many a time.
Deep square leg and deep third in, if you're keeping track of where the fielders are in the power play still.
Just dropped into the offside at backward point, and there's no run. Pakistan, Zimbabwe. What was the over under? The over under on the next wicket. It said I had 2 bets. That's why. So I turned off the app because it wouldn't let me cancel it. I don't know what the other bet was.
Bet on AFC Wimbledon to win at the weekend.
49.5. 49. No. 49.5. I might go under that. There's got to be a wicket eventually. I thought.
Yeah, you think. Oh dear.
Got that in. 49.5 it is, Jack. That's just dropped in the offside. They're going for a single, and they get through. I got a run out in the one of the England-Pakistan games.
You
Which
got
was
to run
profitable.
out. You personally?
Yeah,
I know it was a big squad.
No, I went for a run out on the betting because they looked like the one was possible. They had one of those games where run out looked very possible.
Pay
Yeah, I
off?
did. I got 11 to 1 on it.
Oh.
Quite impressive.
Quids in.
Exactly.
Mog's competing with you for outrageousness. He says you haven't lived until you've been put under citizen's arrest by your badminton coach for throwing water bombs at cars late at night.
No, that's quite harsh.
What, was it by his own badminton coach?
Sounds like
I
it.
presume.
Guided by Irvine down to third man for a single.
I've never been arrested. But you've
Alright.
been arrested.
No,
No,
we're
come
goody
on, don't
two-shoes.
lie. You just old. You've forgotten.
That's quite possible.
I've been stopped several times by the coppers for speeding on motorways.
That's not arrested.
I've
That's
been-
not arrested. No.
I've been cautioned at some protests.
Oh, that's a good one. I've never done that. I've only ever been on one protest. That's down leg side. It's going to be given as a wide. Let me play that again. That was the against Iraq war, which I arrived late at.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's the only one I've ever been on. I was so incensed by that.
Well, I go back to the moratorium march. It's against the Vietnam War. That's how fucking old I
Fuck me,
am.
wow. That's good going. How old were you then?
About 20.
Oh, wow. You're already in Australia by then, no? Yeah?
Yeah.
Driven out to mid-off and there's no run. Cover and there's no run. Yeah, because Australia, they were asked to go in. Did they put some troops in?
Yeah, there were
for a
loads
while in
over.
Vietnam.
Oh, we had
Bunch of diggers.
national service. There was a ballot, and luckily I missed out, so I didn't have to go. Colin Sutter says, Messi, they make so much noise fighting. Do I need to re-educate you birds about the birds and the bees? That ain't fighting. Oh, believe me, mate, it is fighting. The porn box woke him up. Says, possum golden showers with messages. Click here. And Leah says, Rene Russo going from being the female lead in the 95's outbreak to batting in the men's 2022 T20 for South Africa is quite a career arc, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah, I said Rene Russo. I didn't mean, you know what I meant.
Now here comes a wicket, I'm hoping, because this man is on, and he is fucking quality in this game.
Yeah. He averages the wicket every 12.7 balls in T20 internationals.
He's very good. Sean Irvine nearly gets out to him first ball, attempting to either ramp it or guide it down to third man. Drops just short the backward point, and Sean goes down. I think his feet went from under him
Yeah.
as he was coming across. I think he's all right. He had a little tweak of the knee, but he's okay. 38 for none in the fifth.
Oh, Mog, you're fucking rude. He said you marched against the Vietnam War. How about Crimea and the Boer War?
Ooh, that's harsh. Ralph in to Irvine. Hits him on the thigh pad. They'll get another single into the leg side. Off the thigh pad. It's only a leg by. 147 Ks, 91 miles an hour. Everyone says Woody's the fastest in this tournament.
I think he is by a distance, isn't
Do
he?
you think by a distance? I mean, by the speed gun,
I
it's
don't
not
know,
by a
it's,
distance.
I
but,
don't, was Norkia bowling gas earlier on?
Yeah, I mean,
He had some
Yeah,
really
it
good
was.
figures. Norkia, him, and Umran Malik, who isn't playing at this tournament, are probably the 3 in the world, aren't they?
yeah.
Lockie Ferguson can dial it up.
Yeah, Lockie can certainly dial it up. Obviously, Joffre's not playing these days, but he can dial it up. That's a decent length ball by Harris Ralph's. Hitting, well, defended into the offside. He has to field off his own bowling. They get through for a single. Madavira's on 17 off 11. Yeah, go for it.
Mog says, as luck would have it, my badminton coach was driving through the target zone and took some fire.
Ah, well, that'll be why then, huh? How old were you then, Mog?
I've never heard of anyone having a badminton coach before. That sounds ridiculous.
All right, maybe Mog was very good at badminton.
Yeah.
That's why he swings his axe so well. Ralph, going to come in, Harris Ralph, to Irvine, who flicks it wickedly off his legs. Man out in the deep is, on these bigger boundaries, everyone seems to be having a man sort of 10, 15 yards off of the boundary. They've got that for 2. I'm not sure about that. I mean, obviously it's for the miss hit because everyone knows that normally boundaries are 70 yards and these are sort of 85. So we'll have you 10 yards in. But then when it goes over you, because people are still able to hit sixes, clearly.
It looks a bit embarrassing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does look
goes
a
over
bit
you and
embarrassing. I
bounces.
still think you're probably better off on the boundary. I think maybe it's to try and stop the 2s.
Possibly it's a bit of both.
Yeah, it's kind of hedging your bets type stuff, isn't it? Swing and a miss. Good rising ball, Irvine across him from Harris Ralph. Swing, no ding from Irvine. Goes through to Rizwan. There's no run.
It was still rising when it got to Rizwan.
Yeah.
Too.
It's a good pitch. It's a great stadium, I have to say. It's another one.
It's actually really good for watching cricket too. I know the WAC had much more character, but it's really comfortable and well equipped.
Oh, it's just huge. Another one that's like a coliseum. You like big sports stadiums in Australia, don't you? For a population that's so small, you've got some fucking big ass stadiums. Top
there's
edge,
only
it's
2
gone
million
up. Is it going to
people
be
living
out? Is it going to
there.
be out? Please be out. Yes, it's out. Yeah, it's under 49.5. Finally, a wicket falls. Irvine goes to pull one at too quick. On in too quick. Gets a big top edge. Man on the 45 gets around, catches him. Zimbabwe grab 42 for 1 as they lose their first wicket. In fact, this is a classic one of these. Top edge, for fuck's sake. Oh no, he's out. Excellent. Top edge, for fuck's sake. Oh no, he's out. Excellent. Top edge, for fuck's sake. Oh no, he's out. Excellent. Yeah, that was on to him. He was just done for pace there, wasn't he?
Yeah, bumped out.
So Bear, we do a changeover.
Oh, we
and,
are. Me and
yeah.
Jack are staying here. The only person who's changing is you.
Get out.
Yep.
Get out. It's fourth. He's coming
The
in.
next tweet is from Leah 3 minutes ago.
I'm doing tweets. God damn it.
Just click tweet deck. There you go. Say hello to people on YouTube for us, Bear.
I can say hello to a few people on YouTube.
Oh, it's cracking over there. Look at it. 34 people listening. Only 7 likes though. What's happening here?
Come on. give
Hit
us
that
some
like
likes.
button.
What have we got? That's bollocks. Okay, I've seen enough. 14 for none after 1 over. PAK will start to panic in a minute. It's an okay. A wicket back. The old
I don't
PAK
think you have to read
headbang.
them all out. Just
No,
say
I
that.
don't. Okay. Hello to you. Suter, who's there? He's our spanner man. As long with Mog, who's descended hand job over there. Back on Twitter. What did he say? Leah.
Left hand column.
Yeah. When I go for this one, middle column mentions. And that's notifications.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, you see. Teach you something new every time. Leah says, I once beat up a war criminal in self-defence at a protest, kicking the shit out of a 70-year-old Waffen SS volunteer is remarkably satisfying. Interesting.
Wide ball from Wazim. Fires it, a good way down the leg side. I like the Pakistan what they've gone for here. Just a bunch of guys who bowl fast.
Yes,
Yeah.
I kind of like that as well. I mean, this is the thing. Batsmen do like pace, so if you get a true wicket, they're just as likely to go for a lot of runs.
Is Wazim good? Is Nasim Shot actually good? We're not really sure, but they bowl fast.
They bowl fast.
They pass the eye test. Here he
Everyone loves
comes.
a
He's got a
fast
good
bowler.
buffon as well. Bounces nicely as he comes into bowl. And he hurries up Madavira a little bit there. He plays it on the back foot, dropping it down by his toes. No run.
Yeah, I mean, I guess pace counts for quite a lot, but you've got to be able to direct it in the right directions, haven't you?
Hello there.
Oh, hello, Fourthy. You got a
It's nice.
side
You've kind of got I don't know, an East London double act or something going on. I was reluctant to interrupt it.
That's okay.
No. Delightful.
What's going on with your mic, Forty?
Yeah, you're blowing out a bit again.
Yeah. Ball from
okay.
Wazim. It hits Madavira on the pad. There's a big appeal. I think they might send this upstairs, although
They shouldn't.
Shan at point was saying a little high. Let's see what Baba does. He's looking. He's saying, is it out to people? And he reviews. He sends it upstairs. A few things that could be wrong with it. Height could be outside the line. Although Madavir is short, and it did move back in. Let's see.
Still looked way too high, though, didn't it?
I don't know. My first instinct was that it was close. I think it's probably one of those ones that I can't see enough of the ball hitting for it to be out.
No,
but
and it's given none out. Thoughts, Fourthy?
Yeah, thoughts are, I'm still trying to fix my microphone, so you just carry on for the second. Since I last saw you, I've managed to destroy my own computer by tripping over it and smashing the screen, so I have reverted to my wife's computer.
I did
Absolute
wonder why
nightmare.
you come up as Tamsin Fourth.
Yeah, that's your reason. So there's been some emergency there's been a hell of a lot of swearing since I last saw you.
Did you trip over it? What, and detach
Yeah, I
the
tripped
screen?
over it and smashed the screen, so it's dead.
just having a look at
Absolute
this
nightmare.
replay. It does hit him quite high up on the front pad, although he is on the crease and he is tiny. So we will need to see ball tracking. No inside edge. Question marks about whether it hit in line. Oh, it does hit in line, and it's hitting.
It's hitting?
It's
Really?
out. It's giving it out. Well,
That's a good review.
it's a good review. It's close on a number of fronts, but Madavira has got to go.
Oh dear, oh dear.
The crowd says you.
Right, so is it, well, the big man's in next, isn't he?
I don't think they can believe that Pakistan. Their mouths are agape.
Didn't look it, did it?
I don't think they believe that that's out. But
they
those
got
are breaks, aren't they?
Yeah.
Don't ask the question.
Indeed.
Okay, you wouldn't have reviewed it.
I'm presuming this man's in next, isn't he? The big man.
Kinda watch your story. So kinda calculate your time.
Could be Williams.
Yeah, it could be.
Kinda you'll be sorry. So kinda you really ain't that young.
They should know a little bit about him. He plays in the PSL, Razza, doesn't he?
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Williams it is. So nice work there.
Yeah, so I got that wrong.
Very good.
That's alright. Sean Williams.
If I had Sean Williams' number. If I had Sean Williams' number, I'd prank
You
on
have
him a lot.
14 minutes to get your GPLs in. It's a bumper prize.
Is it? Oh, is it? We had a lot of people chasing the jackpot. Huh?
GorillaCricket.com/competition. We're looking at 300 big ones, and by big ones I mean pounds.
Yes, exactly.
Not as big as they were when I was last on Gorilla Cricket back in the summer. Wide from Wazim, smashed over backward point. Will it run away for 4? Yes, it holds up a little bit, but Sheen Sharif really wasn't that interested in fielding it, I don't think. And he shepherded it into the bench at 4 runs.
And if you kids can't listen, then you bound to see the way you get shot for crossing a boundary,
What was Afridi's injury in the summer? Was it hamstring, wasn't it, or something?
I think it was knee.
Oh, was it knee?
Yeah.
Okay.
But obviously, I mean, he must be fine.
Well, yeah, I think he's one of those ones who kind of got rushed back for the World Cup.
Possibly, but
I mean, he wasn't
yeah.
that fine. I don't think he played against us in Pakistan, put it that way.
That was a real old school piece of Pakistani fielding there.
it was.
It was indeed.
He didn't even get out of first gear. Short, pulled, not timed particularly well. It goes very straight to mid on. There's no run.
You still having problems with your computer now?
Well, you know what it's like when you're on someone else's computer. or it's like flying someone else's plane. I had a look at where the soundboard was and everything. How is the sound? Is it tolerable?
It's tolerable. You're quite loud. That's all. You're really. It's better. But I prefer it loud than quiet because at least we can hear you.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll speak. I'll speak sotto voce.
Williams faces up. It's driven one bounce and caught at point or stopped at point. Everyone is celebrating for Pakistan. No, I don't think it is out.
I think it was.
I think it bounced, but I think they're just so amazed that someone in the Pakistan team fielded the ball cleanly. That literally 3 players are over there slapping him on the back.
There was an abundance of congratulation for a bit of fielding.
He does. He absolutely smokes that Williams, and he'll be disappointed not to get 4 runs. it is. It has to be said, it is a good piece of fielding as well. Pakistan, eh?
Pakistan, what you going to do with them?
Swazim's in, goes full that time. It's poked towards extra cover. There's no run. And that's the end of the over.
Right.
5 from it, 47 for 2 at the end of the power play.
Let me get some tweets in. Brian says, and we're back. The granddaughters have departed and left me with just the scone crumbs. Scone? Yeah, I don't know. Luckily, only 3 of the 4 were on site, and their mother was here to help wrangle. Hoping now for Zimbabwe and put up a good game. Well, they started okay. Cut the quick wickets, 47 for 2, it's alright. Mog says, I was 17 and also the Goulburn Valley B-grade men's badminton champion. There you go. Goulburn.
Oh, wow, that's exciting.
What product placement is the bear doing there in that can? I'm doing one of yours. You sent this to me. James Squire Hop Thief American Pale Ale. It's very tasty. Brian, you're an absolute fucking superstar. I have to say this. We had coffee and croissants and
it's been
all sorts this morning from Carluccio's. All thanks to our man Brian 001. He was a fucking hero.
Cannellonis.
That's what they're called.
Yeah.
Yes.
Afridi's back into the attack. It's unusual that you see a bowler of his calibre bowl the 7th over. Normally it's just some dud. Like you, Bear, that's the over you'd bowl in the T20.
Yeah, exactly. I reckon I'd be doing alright there as well.
Maybe Pakistan thinking we get another wicket here. We can.
He's
really
only bowled 1 as well,
score.
hasn't he? Yeah. He went 14.
He's only bowled 1, yeah.
Goes short outside off stump. He's steered down towards third man. It will be a single.
Real Scottish goalkeeper piece of fielding in the gully there.
Yeah, he probably could have stopped it going out into the outfield. They've got quite a lot of beard action in this Pakistan team.
Like a good beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, never been short on hirsuteness of the Pakistan team.
Yeah.
That is one area that they have always really excelled.
You
don't see many kind of straggly beards amongst the Pakistan team.
No,
really full set.
Top beards of the World Cup, I'd say.
Mm.
Here comes Afridi wearing very bright white shoes. They must be new. Beats the outside edge, and it must have been quite close. There's a half appeal. You know the kind of appeal you get, or you see when it's a good ball.
It's a good ball appeal.
Yeah, good ball appeal.
Yeah. Moral victory.
They've slowed down a lot, haven't they, since they've lost that opening pair?
Well, they got 30 off the first 3 overs,
Yeah,
and they've added 18 in the next 3.
Yeah.
So, still an okay start for Zimbabwe, though. You got to be thinking 150s on the cards.
Yeah, they'd like 165, 170.
Here comes Afridi bowling from wide on the crease that time. And I think the angle does for Williams, who, well, played it with half a bat, missed it with half a bat, and is lucky that he didn't lose his off bail there.
Well, interesting. The bookies have got them 20 over score 145. Seems a bit low from 48 for 2, but then it's Zimbabwe. Over, under. No, I'm going to
He's
go.
got the top strike rate in their team, Sean Williams, but it's only at 127, so that's going to be their problem.
Yeah,
it's not loads.
I've gone under.
I've put another GPL in. Oh, leading edge. It floats up into the air and lands a bit short of Afridi. Well, it's a good ball. Williams isn't enjoying this.
No. And that's the thing, isn't it? Nice, hard, fast, bouncy wicket.
Yeah, I think
bowlers.
They've done very well. I mean, the fielding's been a bit
it's been a bit
lackadaisical. Yeah, but the bowling, they recognised very quickly there was no swing on offer and changed their plan from bowl full to bowl test match lengths, and it's made a big difference to the scoring rate and how difficult it is to in general if you're Zimbabwe.
If you're Zimbabwean, exactly.
Here he comes again, Afridi. Short, pulled this time, and he will score a run. It
Not great timing.
yeah, it rolls pretty gently past the umpire, out towards deep square leg for a single.
Guess that's one of the advantages of bowling second. You can go to school. You should know what the right lengths are when it's your turn.
Yeah. You get to see what works. And having gone for 14 in his first over, he's gone for 2 in this one so far. 1 ball to go. Good comeback.
Yeah, I'd say I'd agree with that. Shumba on strike, comes down the pitch, big swing and narrow miss. It's a dot ball, passes through to the keeper. 49 for 2 at the end of the 7th.
Well, Colin Souter just says, and a criminal. I don't know what that's to. And there's no more tweets. Come on,
Say
please.
Anna Karenina.
Oh, what? Huh?
What was the tweet?
And a criminal. That was all it said.
Well, you.
Oh, I thought it said
It is
Anna
a criminal.
Karenina.
Oh,
Okay.
right. No, and a criminal. What
What's
was
your
it?
favourite Tolstoy?
I've never read any Tolstoy.
I'd actually go for War and Peace, and I know it's a cliche.
I quite like War
it's
and Peace as well. Yeah.
It's from the 19th century, and they really didn't know what a novel was. So it's a bit novel, it's a bit history, it's a bit philosophy. You wouldn't write it now; no one will publish it now. But it's a magnificent book.
I feel like if Tolstoy came back from the dead, he could write anything and they'd publish it. To be honest.
Well, yeah, with his track record. But you know,
Did you do an
you think
English
of the
degree?
plot-
I didn't do an English degree. He's Russian.
All the things they tell you about how to write a novel, War and Peace contradicts all of them, more or less.
Full from Shadab, who's the new bowler, pushed down the ground for a single, 2 long off.
And he sounds like this.
What's the matter, you? Show a little respect. The leg is spinning his harder, but he turns it off at the deck. Oh, he's not too bad. He's always got a plan. Shut up, can.
My son's going through a Russian novel phase.
Oh yeah. Shadab full, and again pushed down the ground to mid off.
Yeah, he's reading The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky, and he asked for his birthday, which was yesterday, he asked for a typewriter.
Bloody
He's
hell.
going really old school.
Yeah, you want to watch that.
Watch that.
Full again from Shadab. Onto the pads this time, and it's knocked too long on for a single.
They need to get a move on here in Zimbabwe. They're really...
What are you panicking about?
I'm not. I've gone under 145 and a half. I'm just saying for the game. They need to get a move on because they're going
It's
nowhere
very
far.
tricky, I tell you what, to call the GPL at this point. There must be a big spread.
Now you've got 5 minutes left.
Full and an inside edge. Looking for that gap at mid-off to pick up the single, but not that time. I think they can do this for another couple of overs, to be honest.
Yeah, but have
Yeah, just don't know.
they've got to...
Can they accelerate?
Yeah,
That's the
Short,
question.
pulled round the corner. It's fumbled, but there will not be 2 that time. That was a filthy delivery from Shadab Khan.
Yeah,
Bounced by his feet. Really should have been put away, but only a single.
It was actually terrible cricket all round, wasn't it? It was a terrible ball, terrible bit of fielding, and it wasn't a great shot either.
I mean, from here...
Tosses that one up, and the slog sweep is unfurled by Williams, but he doesn't get bat on ball. It slides past him and past the off stump. Ends the over 4 from it.
Now, if
53 for 2.
If they accelerate, can they get 100 more? 153? I don't think they can.
Tweets.
Yes. Oh, yeah, it's me. Sorry.
Yeah,
Right.
go on. Fuck me.
Mog. That made me so cool in the badminton community. Let me tell you. I imagine it did. Especially with probably someone who you despised as your coach, because most people do. Well, do you? I don't know. Actually.
I don't know, do you?
I remember Jonah Barrington when I was growing up as the only badminton player I could put a name to, I think.
I don't think I can put a name to anyone. I don't even remember her.
It was a him.
Him. Well, there you go.
Afridi in, full inside edge. Trying to push that back past the bowler. And it bobbles to mid-wicket, no run.
Well, the GPL's hit 300 quid, says Messi Jez. We've had 42 entries. Someone's got to win it today. It makes sense. Yeah, you can get to see what they are.
Yeah. I'm gonna. I've gone pretty low with my spread.
Well, that's probably not a bad idea.
That's short. That's pulled over long on or mid on. One bounce for where long on would be 4 runs.
That's a decent shot.
That's not what you want. When you put a low bet in, you don't want the next ball to go for 4, do you?
There's an extremely excited Zimbabweans in Sydney.
Oh, as you would be.
Yeah.
Picked up a point in the Super 12 after their wonderful performance.
This is in Perth, though.
Yeah, whatever. Shumba picks up another single. A little drop and run to mid-off.
No, it's not the end.
I've still got three balls to go.
Phew.
Zimbabwe up to 58 for 2. Pakistan probably feeling reasonably comfortable at the moment.
Yeah, especially after that start, they've dragged it back.
Yeah.
Even if they've only got 2 wickets, they've they've hit a length with the ball and they're struggling to score.
Interesting, they've got
it is Zimbabwe.
Another Afridi over here instead of using him for later. As Williams drives on the up through cover, picks up a single to the sweeper on the fence. The shy back in, hits the stumps, and it means they'll sneak through for a cheeky overthrow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that's not one of the things that the ICC have clamped down on with all of their rule changes. As soon as it hits the wickets, one of these days they're going to say, no, that's a dead ball, but not yet.
No. Well, that was the interesting thing. I mean, what is the rule? Because there was a law change that allowed them, wasn't it, to run the other day off the bowling of Kohli.
Well, that was a ricochet off a free hit, though.
Yes.
It was free hit.
Free hit. If it bowls you off a free hit, yeah, you can go and run.
Ah, okay. Well, presumably because the ball can't be dead because it doesn't matter that you're out. Same as if you're caught in the outfield and come back for a second.
Yes, that is exactly correct.
Sure, Williams pulls it to mid-wicket and it's dropped by Iftikhar. That is pretty bad.
Well, it's pretty bad. It's going quite hard, but
I think you'll see this on the replay and it will be a lot slower.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, he did hit it.
It's hit it pretty close to him. I mean, he has to reach slightly outside of his body.
You have to catch those.
But
he's looking a bit shamefaced.
It's not very good. I think that's that's a pretty
caught.
simple catch.
Yeah.
To be honest, gets his hands the wrong way round and drops it.
That's what he's there for.
Afridi again gets one to leap out of the pitch. I mean, it's a length ball and it flies out of the surface, strikes Shumba on the gloves, loops towards gully but lands quite a long way short of the fielder. End of the over. 61 for 2.
I think they're bowling Shaheen because he's not really at top form. I mean, you look at his paces and you consider how quick he can be in T20, and you look at all the other Pakistan bowlers are all bowling up around the 90 miles an hour. He normally, you'd expect to be in the 90s, 91 to 94. He's at 85 miles an hour, that ball's clocked at.
Yeah, he's tall, isn't he?
Yeah,
so
he is tall, but he's still, I know
slower.
that. GPL's hit 300 quids as a message, it's there. This is the last minute, it might have just closed.
Shadab in, I think that was the wrong one, but quite leg side, and Zimbabwe will come through for two well taken runs. Well, the first run that was normally taken, and then the second one they were like, yeah, there's a run there, and they got through pretty easily for
27, I reckon. So £308, I reckon, as a prize pot.
That is a whack. You could go on holiday with that.
243 all the way up to 382.
Shadab in the block hole. Little flick of the wrists from Williams. Sends it in the direction of short mid-wicket. There's no run.
I'd say Syed Awad is a very optimistic Zimbabwe fan at 382.
Tossed up, sweep from Williams, picks up a single to deep mid-wicket. Shadab getting through his work quite quickly here. Not carrying a lot of threat, but looking like he's quite hard to score off. Just 3 balls left of our little spell together before we have a change. Is Andy coming back in?
It is. Andy and John B. Andy can't be in 2 places at one time.
Wicket. Pushed back to the bowler. Floated up by Shadab. Shumba doesn't get there and pops it back to the bowler, who takes a decent low diving catch to dismiss the Zimbabwean.
I
I won't look back. 'Cause by the time that I do, you'll be gone.
We've got nothing on the really low end here, have we? So I think if Zimbabwe fall in a
Really
heap,
fuck it up.
yeah,
And if they get under 120, then everyone's out basically,
yeah,
which is possible.
Milton Shumba goes for 8. Zimbabwe 64 for 3.
Was it
No,
Regis Chikabaya next?
it must be.
Sikandar Raza.
Sikandaraza.
You might just recognize this guy from the runs he made away. And you might recognize this guy from the runs he makes at home. Sikandaraza, Raza.
Yeah, well, we assume it's Sikandaraza, and
It's the wrong innings. So we're trying to work out who's supposed to
Oh
be
right,
on air.
yeah,
and
Fourthy, Messi, John B.
Bear, because he's completely sloshed on these 2 pints he's had.
I got the wrong innings. I keep looking at the bottom. But there is 10 to 15 in the second innings. So
He's
it's
playing
Andy,
the wrong
Andy and John B.
jingles.
Ah man, it's slipshot. It's slipshot in here. Don't you worry. It's Fourthy next up, ball by ball, with Messi and John B.
well, yeah, we'll look
John
like
B.
a
John
British Prime Minister. We will restore stability.
Yeah, we live in a very stable country. What's the pound back to? $1.16?
Yeah, $1.16.
Yeah.
I cashed out at the.
Yeah, all good. Oh, well, sorry.
I cashed out on our PayPal account at 109.
Oh, whoa.
I could have waited for 103, but I thought 109 was reasonable.
Yeah.
Don't have any dramas like that down in Australia these days. But a very mature, slightly boring budget, if anything, a couple of days ago.
We could do one of those.
You probably get one in about 2 or 3
The
weeks'
thing
time,
is,
won't
the
you?
Tory party are never going to admit that Brexit has fucked a whole load of shit up and we should have a better fucking relationship with Europe. And until they do, we're in trouble, basically. And I don't even know.
Trouble is not.
I don't
Yeah,
even. The
trouble
thing
is neither
is,
to the Labour Party either.
well, this is it. Well, I think Labour will, once they get in, do something. But I don't think they can admit it before they get into power. It's one of those ones. Because everyone knows it's the case. But if you say it, everyone's going to go, "No, you can't do that." But when they get in,
No, that's right.
But when they
It's
get
like
in and do it, and everyone will go, "Oh, look at the consequences of that. That was quite worthwhile."
We've got a couple of balls.
if anyone's interested, there's an extremely good Financial Times documentary, which only lasts half an hour on YouTube, which explains why Brexit has been an absolute and utter catastrophe. Very mature, very balanced by economic experts.
Well, of course. Well, we don't like experts. Tories don't like experts.
This is the problem
we
with
don't
you,
like
Forthy. You're
experts, do we?
talking down Britain from the other side of the world.
I'm part of an anti-UK coalition. That's right.
Why don't you come back here and be part of the solution instead of bitching from the sidelines? Here's Shadab. It's a full toss, a low full toss, and Raza will get off the mark. First ball with a controlled steer down to long on.
Bear, could you give that youngster next year a little clip round the ear, please?
Sikandar Raza could be the difference between that bigger score and
yeah, well, I want anything under 150 and I'm in business as long as it's more than 135.
I want under 145.
Drive from Williams. Really. That's very well timed. Will be stopped down on the fence by Wazim, who spills it. I don't know if there's something wrong with Wazim's proportions, but he can't seem to bend down and pick up the ball. So every time he does,
he's quite solid in the middle. Maybe that hair, he has to keep it up so it doesn't weigh him down.
Anyway, he successfully turned 1 into 2 for Zimbabwe. 67 for 3.
Well,
I'm out of here.
Yeah, you are out of here. In fact, we're all out of here, aren't we?
Yeah, it looks that way.
It does look that way.
Thanks, guys.
You're staying.
I am staying, yeah. Now, Bear's off tea, although he's staying in his chair. Thank you very much, Jack. Despite the cheekiness, we enjoyed your contribution. Hello, Messi. And hello, John. John, welcome back.
John.
I think you might be on mute. Are you on mute, John? Not sure.
Yeah.
Might be.
Hello, Forthy. Hello, Messi. How are we, gents?
We're good, mate. You're actually slightly loud, if anything, John.
Let's adjust this slightly.
Probably not as loud. Am I okay, Messi? I don't know whether you heard, but I managed to smash my computer between since the last time I saw you, and I'm reverting to my wife. Now then, enough of that. Asad Ralph in for the start of his second over. He's on 1 for 3, so he's rapid and he's in very good form. And that went straight through to the keeper. Dot ball. How are you seeing it so far, John?
Well, obviously it was a very bright start by the Zimbabweans. It was a brave decision to send Madaverian to open after his decent effort. Probably the one redeeming feature of Zimbabwe's game the other night.
Indeed. Harris Ralph, just seeing a statistic indicating he's the third fastest tournament at 151. It's another dot ball, tucks up Raza, and his leg stump just back to the bowler.
I was a little bit dubious about the ball tracking on his LBW, I have to say. I thought he looked very high.
There's been a couple of incidents today. There's one in the Netherlands-India match where, because it hit on the half volley, I think that's where DRS is at its weakest. It did not look out, but it was cannoning into leg and middle according to DRS. So, I mean, it's only a predictive technique. It's the best we've got, I guess. Here we are. Anyway, third ball of Asabrav's over goes straight through to the keeper. Got ball again. Raza is probably not seeing it.
I've got a conspiracy theory. I think that Pakistan got 42 off the first 5 overs because the Bear wanted everybody to go high in the GPL, and he didn't want to go in with his under until they scored a few runs. So he got his under in. Everybody went high on the GPL, and there's a very good chance that nobody will be in the GPL at all. So it's all a plot by the Bear.
Well,
it's very, very plausible.
Normally it's a conspiracy theory, but because it involves the Bear, it's probably right.
Exactly correct. Asabrev in again, and that one's a little more short pitch, just whistles past the throat of Raza. Not much you can do about that one. That's another dot ball. 4 dots so far.
Yeah, he's just simply too quick, isn't he?
Exactly right, yeah.
Especially on the surface. I mean, you know, of all the places to want to play, you know, really quick bowling, this isn't the one that you'd queue up to be in, is it really?
Exactly right, yeah. Sikandar Raza, who is, you would say, is Zimbabwe's best bet of getting a decent score on the board. We're probably just going to have to see out Asabrev if he's bowling like this. He managed to get back on that one, but only at 10 yards away to the man who's in short cover. No run again, another dot ball.
So you're back to commentating off the Zoom feed, I take it, for
Yeah, well, moving to my wife's computer has had the unexpected benefit of seeming to get rid of some of the jerkiness. Who knows why? I have no idea.
Well, she obviously isn't clogged with porn. Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's obviously the reason, yes.
Gosh.
I'm hoping when I get it fixed, that'll all go as well, and I can start again on all the new porn sites. That has gone down, flicked. So that is 4 runs to Raza, unless it's leg bites. And that's sort of woken up the Zimbabweans in the crowd.
It is off the pad, 40 apparently.
It is off the pad. So that is 4 leg bites. That's the end of the over. Zimbabwe 71 for 3 at the end of it. Williams at 15, Raza on 1, Ralph 1 for 3 off his tip overs.
I'm not entirely sure where Bear got to on the tweets. There's one from Imagine, Sally R56, saying, bloody hell, Bear, during the IPL you said you'd do okay with your left arm spin, and now you're saying I'd go okay at the World Cup. The WG craze of guerrilla cricket. Warren says it starts with a typewriter, and before you know it, he'll be maintaining quills.
Yeah, turning to Jacob Rees-Mogg. Yeah, that's my son who's had to ask for a typewriter and receive one for his birthday.
Oh wow!
Nadab Khan into a new over from him, and that one is pulled to the man on the deep square leg boundary, and they come through for 1. Williams.
I'm not sure I'd wish morphing into Jacob Rees-Mogg on anybody, really, but
that'd be an awful idea, wouldn't it?
It really would.
One of the worst
your son
ideas
is probably
in the world.
telling his mates that he's got an air-gapped computer.
As long as he doesn't wear a monocle, I'll be. That would be a step too far for everyone. Shabab, and that looks. They look for a quick single and they get it. Scuttled
Very
through.
cheeky one, that was.
Very cheeky indeed. It was only knocked down a couple of yards on the offside. Well taken. They're going to have to do a bit more of that. They're going to get run rate 6.4, which is not going to be enough.
Well, they are, because the boundaries have dried up, so.
Indeed. Shabab in again. And that's a low full toss, which is an effective ball, as of dropping on him. can't get it away. Another dot ball. And Williams is beginning to look a little frustrated, but he's got that one away down to long off, but only for the single. So this,
yeah, again, he seemed to start quite brightly, but has retreated somewhat. And this is the danger, isn't it? That you try and be aggressive up top, you lose a couple of quick wickets, and you revert into your shell.
Exactly right. They've scuttled through for another quick single, which disappoints Shada because effectively it was straight to the man at point who was there to save the single. Pakistan have not shone particularly brightly in the field, it's fair to say, but they're doing well bowling here, and they're certainly in the box seat as far as this match goes. Last ball of Shadab's over to Williams. Williams just taps it down to long on. They're going to come through for the single. Williams will keep the strike. He's on 18. Raz is on 3. Pakistan 76-3 at the end of the 12th over. Messi. No, Messi's got a pistachio in his mouth, which has taken him by surprise. He's still got a pistachio. And he's on mute as well.
And he's on mute as well, but apart from that, it's all good.
Apart from that, everything's good.
I was trying to eat my toasted sandwich. Cricket Takes says, will the ECB allow players to participate in the women's IPL? I'm quite sure they will. It's a great development tool for them, apart from anything else, but it's also a means of English women cricketers getting a better income. Mogg says, if Forthy isn't allowed to, I'm happy to step in and slander the shit shower that is the soon-to-be former UK right now.
You see, I've got a little way to go before I can master Mogg's Australian.
Might have to form an orderly queue. There will be plenty of volunteers, trust me.
Indeed. Nazim in for the start of his new over. Was that Williams? Backed away significantly and hit it through the offside of the game. They could only come through for the single.
Yeah, there's definitely a long queue to denigrate the current UK government, and it isn't difficult either.
They couldn't possibly get back in again, could they, John? If they sort of manages to patch over a few of the wounds in the next couple of years, people say better the devil you know. I'll come back to that in a second. One would hope not. But that's smashed over mid-off for 4. Bit cross-batted, but who cares? It's a great T20 shot. He absolutely middled it. Raza moves on to 7. And that's 4 of these.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
Yeah, he released his long levers, got his front foot out of the way, and smashed it in archetypical T20 style.
Well, I think he knew that if he got it over the infield, it was gone. So
tries a similar shot this time on the onside, but there's a long on there. It bounces a couple of times before it gets to him, and they shoot through for 2. So Raza beginning to look a little bit more likely, although so he should, because if they've got any hope at all, it's going to be Sikandar, isn't it, John? Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. He needs to really marshal this now and take it on, because really Zimbabwe have nothing to lose in that, really.
Indeed not.
Well, and they also know that Pakistan got a bit creaky the other night.
They did. Nazim Shah, and that one's pulled nicely by Williams. And I think it's going to go for 4. That was a really elegant shot. Didn't deserve to be in the T20. 4 of these, which we will have to imagine. Oh no, we don't have to imagine, because Jack, I think, yes, Jack has shot back.
Jack has sprinted in from the green room to do the business.
Thank you very much, Jack. That's very good of you. Shouldn't you be at work?
Left his pint or whatever it is.
Yeah. Are you working today, John?
Yeah, from home though. So
WFH, yeah. Hopefully your boss isn't watching this. That's a nice shot from Williams, but straight. I think it may even have hit the Sikandar at the non-striker's end from And he may have hit the stumps as well. Certainly hit the stumps. Not sure if it hits a candle en route.
Fortunately, Forthy, I am my boss, so therefore.
Perfect, absolutely perfect.
I have no issue.
Everyone's got a boss, though, John. Somewhere.
Yeah,
Everyone's got a boss.
Somewhere.
Even Messi's got a boss somewhere. Maybe it's the boss.
I've got something on my shoulder.
Yeah, exactly. Nazim in again, last ball of the over, and they're going to run a very quick single. It only went about 5 yards. It's a good bit of running. Nazim is number 27 of his 3. Williams 24. Sikandar 8. And Pakistan are
87, I think it is.
Zimbabwe at 87 for 3.
Yeah.
Messi.
Colin Sada says, I still don't see them being the former UK government because of the level of fuckwittery here. Armchair Cricket Podcast says, a marquee battle this, Haris Rauf and Sikandar Azhar. Rauf seems to have won round 1, but Razar hanging in there with that hit at the end. Let's see if Razar can land a few more blows of his own in round 2. And Nog, very generously, says, once your computer is back and up and running, hit me up and I'll give you the hookup for all the bestest porn, Forthy. Maybe
so generous, thank you so much.
Yeah, maybe you should change your name, Mog, to the Porn Ball Wizard.
Should have in again for the start of his last over. Comes round the wicket, and there is a classic Pakistani piece of it. And in the outfield has dived all over it, and it's gone through for 4 of it. I say 4 of these. No sign of Jack. Yes, there is. No, he is Bear.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
By the looks if Bear had some cheese and chive crisps there, if I don't miss the mark.
I was going to say, Jack's morphed into Bear. That's really dangerous.
In fact, that was to be fair, I suppose. He did go for the low catch. He just missed it and it went for 4. A reverse sweep this time from Williams, and he's connected really well with that one. And they'll come back for 2 as the sweeper has to run round the boundary. They're
sprinting for a 3rd, and they got it.
And they got it. This is getting a real wriggle on. That's how they should have put us.
Showing the width of the square boundaries at Perth, I think.
So they're pretty wide, aren't they,
Messi?
Messi?
The spaces and leg it.
Real old school coaching.
Yeah, whack it into space. Leg it as hard as you can. Yeah. A lot of science about that, really.
Good a strategy as any. Shadab in again. And that's the leg break from him. It turns gently. Sikandar got it. He didn't get it any further than the man in the infield. No run. So Shadab's just got 3 balls to go in his spell. Comes in again. And that is launched by Sikandar, but all along the ground to the man at long off. So it'll just be a single. That's Iftikhar.
Yeah, straight to him, unfortunately.
Straight to him. And Iftikhar's still looking a little guilty after that drop catch from a couple of overs ago. He always looks a little bit guilty, Iftikhar.
Indeed.
Shadab organising his field. Left-handed Williams on strike, 95 for 3. Oh, a reverse sweep, and he's been bowled. He's been cleaned up. Sean Williams has played. Did he need to play that shot? Well, it always looks bad when it doesn't come off. But Zimbabwe 95 for 4. Williams has gone for 31 off 28.
Oh dear.
Going to hear a jingle right now.
Another one bites the dust. I think that is going to be out, Fred. Another one bites the dust.
Yeah, that looked decidedly awful, didn't it? Really, but
yeah, it's pretty awful. I mean,
ugly slog to a ball that didn't do a lot, and he just missed it. So
never really got going, did he? 3 4s, but well, Pakistan will have to have a significant off night. I would imagine it's pretty well 80-20 from here on. That would be my guess.
The incident we had earlier with Messi's mouthful of toasted sandwich reminded me of the great incident with I think it was Brian Johnston and the late great Tony Cozier of many years ago when cake was delivered to the TMS box and Brian Johnston mischievously said And now to continue commentary, it will be Tony Cozier just as he'd taken a large bite of cake, and all you got for the next 10 seconds was.
Yeah. The Naked Pub Pornbot asks what Tamil sexy talk did Forthy whisper in his wife's ear to get access to her PC. Leah says the main problem with better relationships with Europe is this. Europe is pretty fed up with Britain after 30 years of them demanding to be treated special. And Ravi's got a very good tweet that he's worked hard on. He says, so now we have the men's IPL, or MIPL, and the women's IPL, WIPL. I dream of a world with a short-term trans IPL, TIPL of course, until they all merge, using appropriate handicapping, into the non-gendered IPL, NIPL.
Thank you for that.
Only Ravi could produce that. Methinks.
In fact, to be fair, I think the only free trade agreement that's really come off is the one between, since the Tories got in, is the one between UK and Australia, isn't it? All the others, all the wild talk about, great relationships they're going to have with the US and so on, have proved pointless. Now, Bear's got his finger in his ear.
There was a second wicket. There were 2 wickets, and you've had ads on. Did you see a second wicket?
I've only seen adverts. That is all I've seen.
While they were showing ads, there was another wicket, so there's been 2 wickets and 2 balls.
Well, thank you very much for that, Foxtel. The score I can see is now 95 for 5, and Jakarta has gone first ball for naught. There we are. He's on a hat-trick.
That's...
Fuck off! Just fuck off!
Foxtel really should take a good long hard look at themselves sometimes.
No, it's not Foxtel. It's Sky who fucked it up. It was showing on Foxtel. I just realised, but it wasn't on.
No,
Sky.
you're absolutely right, and it wasn't on Sky. Okay. Anyway, whatever. We've started a new over from Wazim. He has gone for 2 dot balls. While all that was happening, bit of chaos with the transmission. Having a few red faces around. And Zimbabwe moved to 95 for 5, so 3 wickets fallen in the last 4 balls, but the last 2 have been dots. Burl is in. Have we jingled him up? Probably have. Maybe we have. Maybe we haven't.
Probably apparently we didn't realise that he was in. Probably.
I think, by the way, another wicket has fallen. It's now 95 for 6.
Yeah, exactly.
95 for 6, and Sikandar is also out. He's holed out as deep square leg, and Zimbabwe have totally fallen apart.
Top edge, for fuck's sake. Oh, no, he's out. Excellent. Top edge, for fuck's sake. Oh, no, he's out. Excellent. Top edge, for fuck's sake. Oh, no, he's out. Excellent.
My conspiracy theory that this was all Bears doing to make people go high on the GPL is proving to be just about spot on.
It's playing out very well, yeah.
Yes, the self-destruct button has well and truly been pressed here, I think.
On the other hand, the guy was 9 off 15. What's he going to do? He's the best hope for his side. He has to start taking a few risks. That's the nature of T20 cricket, isn't it? Can't really see a way back for Zimbabwe from here, can you, John?
Not really. Not really. I mean, I guess if you're clinging to any sort of tiny threads, you would say that Zimbabwe's only ever win over Pakistan was when Zimbabwe posted 118 in Harare.
Okay.
18 months ago and bowled out Pakistan for 99, but I don't think that's going to happen at Perth.
Luke Yongway is in. Maybe we've got a jingle for him as well. Luke Yongway, does he have a jingle? No, we haven't got the headphones on, so we'll probably find out after this ball.
He's jingle-less Yongway, apparently.
He's technically a bowler, so we can't expect too much from him. And he's been bowled first ball. This is absolute chaos. Zimbabwe now 95 for 7. And I do believe that is 4 wickets in 6 balls.
So get on your bike and take a hike right out of here.
4 for none, I think.
I think he played on off the bottom of his bat there, got up on him, and he was just essentially backing away from a very fast ball, first ball, which he barely probably seen. It was, well, not clean bowl, but bowl.
Yeah, he was trying to play the steer down to third man off a ball on middle and leg stump, which was
too quick for thee.
Pretty tricky, you would have to say.
Yeah, well, I think we know this has been 3 bears in a row, 3 bear matches in a row today, if that's the correct expression for them.
Well, don't get ahead of yourself.
One way. Well, I suppose, yeah, no, never say never. Pakistan, of all teams, can always pull a sort of negative rabbit out of a hat, but it's been good. Last 12 balls, dot 1, 4-3, dot 1, wicket, wicket, dot, dot, wicket, wicket.
Dear me.
This is another hat-trick. It's a hat-trick ball,
It's another hat-trick ball. 2 hat-trick balls in 6 balls.
No, we haven't had the first one yet, actually.
Ah, you're right. Well, yeah, true. We will have 2 hat-trick balls in 4 balls. This is the first of them.
Yeah.
Wazim in again. This time he's bowling to the new batsman, who is Evans, Brad Evans. As is normal, it's a terrible hat-trick ball. I don't know what comes over bowlers on these occasions. It's a wide down the leg side. I guess he was trying for the leg stump.
Wide.
Tad overexcited, I think we might say.
Exactly right. Yeah. I don't know. Are hat-tricks that important in T20? Do people get worked up about them in the way they might in a test match? I'm not sure. But nonetheless, a hat-trick's a hat. 2 balls are spelled together left, Messi and John.
Oh, and after a cricket podcast that points out that Shadab Khan won't be on a hat-trick as he's done bowling for the game.
Very good point. And that's another awful ball down the leg side. He's looking rueful, but if you're ever going to spray 2 balls pointlessly down the leg side, do it when the opposition are 97 for 7 and you've just been on a hat-trick, I suppose.
Yeah, there could be worse times.
It could indeed, yes. You've got a little bit of credit in the bank.
Just a tad, yeah. Just a tad. Yeah, this has been a real unravelling from Zimbabwe, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a shame. They started off brilliantly well as well, the first 6 or 7 overs. Anyway, 2 balls to go still for Wazim. This one's a normal ball, something of a half volley, just wide of the off stump. Normal services resume. They think they're coming back for 2, but they think better of it wisely. Just comes to 1. It puts Burl back on strike, and he hasn't even faced the ball yet.
He's watched all that bedlam from the other end.
Okay, last ball of our spell together. Then I will go to bed. Dream about my lost computer and all the porn I've lost, which I haven't, by the way.
Oh, you're still digging somewhere.
Digging a hole.
And that one flies past Burl's nose, goes through to the keeper, no run. Wazim 3 for 14 off his 3. Burl Evans on 1. Pakistan have got Zimbabwe 98-7 at the end of 50, so they'll have to change in the commentary box.
Yeah. Thanks, Forthy. Jack, the next tweet is from Leah from 5 minutes ago.
And the only thing the free trade deal with Australia managed to accomplish was to screw over the UK agricultural sector. Well done, the party of captains of industry.
Yes, it has to be said to 40. Yeah, it was good for Australia. I don't think it was so good for England, actually, but there you go.
I thought Botham was in charge of all of that. Wasn't he our trade ambassador to Australia or some shit?
He took all the money and he set up a wine ranch, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. Surprise me.
Ravi Nair says, if you go down to the woods today, you're in for no surprise, for today's the day of the 3 bear game. Shit.
Right, Pakistan want to finish this off because it's Shaheen Shah Afridi back into the attack. Although he hasn't taken a wicket so far, so maybe he'll be angry. Comes in, flashed at by the batsman, keeper thinks about it, doesn't bother. So, what a strange innings. Zimbabwe went off to an absolute flyer. They had 30 off 3 overs. And have just done nothing since then but lose wickets.
Yeah, I know. It's a bit disappointing, isn't it? But that's going to happen. That's what I mean. That's why I think they should bat first, because, 1 out of 4 or 5 times this will come. Well, no, 1 out of 4 or 5 times it will come off and they'll get a score. I think that well, mind you, I suppose you could say the same as they're chasing and they could try it.
Full on leg stump, slower ball, clipped down to long leg. That'll be a single.
I just feel they have less pressure on them bouncing first, and if it fucks up, it fucks up.
I guess there's a lot of different ways to look at it. Anyway, 99 for 7. If you weren't with us, we also had two fairly one-sided games in this group today. South Africa won by 100 plus runs, and India won by 56 runs, but it really, that makes it sound closer than it was.
Yeah, they just got a bit of slapping on at the end, didn't they, and got away with it in the last 2 overs.
That's a Yorker on the leg stump of the left-hander. Freedy goes up, is a bit hopeful, I think it's going down leg, and the umpire seems to agree. They got through for a leg by, and that brings up 100 for 7.
Yeah, Babbo seemed to be saying something to him there. I don't know what he was saying. Just think, he's lost a fair bit of pace, does Shaheen.
I'm not sure. Well, he's bowling with the old ball now, and in fact they took his first over for a few, didn't they?
Yeah, 15-14 I think.
Yeah, a few nice drives in that over.
Yeah, they did go off. They went off really well at the start, and it's just subsided. Imagine Pakistan will try and get this done as quick as possible.
Wouldn't hurt. Yep, that's short. It's flicked away down to long leg. It's out into the wide open spaces. Will they get 2?
Should do.
Yeah, I think so.
Wasn't a very good throw.
Ooh, now might be the time to go for a run out, actually.
Maybe. I mean, obviously you're looking at India, South Africa and Pakistan in this group to be contesting for those 2 spots. South Africa obviously hurt a little bit by only getting the 1 point against Zimbabwe. And it's going to come down to these 2 games, India, South Africa and Pakistan, South Africa. India obviously with a win under their belt already.
10-1.
Yeah, it's always a possibility. That's a nice drive into the offside, should go out to the sweeper, should just be 1. Think about it, but no.
Yeah, Zimbabwe crashing out. Well, the 1 point thing is interesting, isn't it? Because it leaves the group wide open because
it sort of means South Africa have to win both games, doesn't it?
I think so.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But the teams chasing them know that if they win, they leapfrog them, so it won't come down to run rate against that particular team. So
maybe, but if South Africa beat Pakistan, that would be 2 defeats for Pakistan. And
yeah,
South
so
Africa
they wouldn't be able to catch them.
Should be able to go through. Yeah, so that'll be a big game. Comes through for a single up to mid-on.
But the rain game basically means that if Pakistan beat South Africa and South Africa,
yes, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
If Pakistan beat South Africa and then South Africa beat India, and then they'll all have beaten each other, then South Africa probably miss out.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's what I meant. Yeah. Shadab Khan has completed his over, says Imagine, so there's no possibility of a hat trick. The Pawn Bot says, did Forthy say he wanted a little bit more porn in his life? Let's not go down that route.
Yeah.
Colin Suter says, also part of the problem, Bear, good for Australia but not so good for England. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
That's you.
What did I say?
I don't know. Something.
Good for Australia but not good for England. What was I talking about? The 1 point game. The 1 point.
Probably that, yeah.
Right, Harris Ralph is going to come in. That's another Yorker back to the bowler. He might have made a bit more of an effort to stop that one. It goes through mid-off his round, but he's misfielding it. They're running the misfield, and they've got away with it that time. Come back for 2.
If you play for Pakistan, there's no point trying that hard in the field because you know someone else will really back you up. Like it.
No, Con, you got that the wrong way around. If the game is rained off on Friday, it'd be good for England and not for Australia.
Yes.
Because obviously we got a better net run rate than them, net run rate, and we wouldn't have lost to them. They wouldn't have beaten us, fair enough. But we'll both get a point each.
Pulled into the leg side, but there's a short mid-wicket to make the Bear happy. There's no run, but that's more for spinners, isn't it? You always want a mid-wicket.
Yeah, or if you are going to try and bowl full on that line, and you know they're going to whip it there, you might as well have a fielder there because 1 and 3 will go straight to him and it'll save you a single.
Well, the fashion
come down to that, you know.
The fashion in the death is to put all the leg side fielders on the boundary, isn't it? Yeah.
And then you get those annoying 2s that
you get more and more of in Australia.
Get mishit through mid-wicket, go nowhere, and it allows
well,
them
that
to
one
get
was absolutely mishit through mid-wicket, going nowhere. But he did manage to miss Nawaz, the short fielder, and pick up a single.
We haven't seen any Nawaz bowl, have we?
He may never bowl again after that India last over in the India game.
That was the other thing that was weird, isn't it? The spinner in the last over.
Yeah, but I understood why they did that. They didn't have a sixth option, and they wanted to try and sort of win the game before he had to come on.
Yeah, I mean, you explained that to me, and it kind of makes sense. But
if he hadn't bowled so badly, it would have worked.
If he'd actually tried to bowl spin rather than medium pace, that might have helped.
Well, yeah.
That one's chopped down to third man. They'll pick up a single.
He was just trying to bowl really quick flat darts, wasn't he? And get them
I mean, it basically worked up to the point where they needed 28 off 8, but then Kohli hit 2 sixes off Harris Ralph.
Yeah.
That's what really turned it, I think.
And they were 2 fantastic shots.
The first one was unbelievable shot. It was kind of a back foot flat bat over long off.
Yes, which was.
I don't think we're going to see that from Ryan Burl.
No.
It was in fact the ball he could have done, but again, just pulled it to mid wicket and there's no run.
So 108. So we got how many 3 overs left? They've still got to get 14 runs for the GPL to be even in play.
Yeah.
They'll hope to manage that.
Well, you'd think so.
No, I mean not for that reason, but give themselves half a chance. But really, if anybody, if you want to pick a team, I know Pakistan are associated with chaos historically, but I think in this tournament, if you want to pick a team that's going to score 125 10 times out of 10, it's Pakistan with Babar and Rizwan and Shan Masood at the top. The batsman leaves that one for some reason. I think it was just too quick for him to pull. Goes through to a keeper, it's no run, it's 108 for 7. They wish 180 with 3 overs left.
There are no tweets, but hello to Stephen and Pokey Bumfinger on the
usual
YouTube.
suspects on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good summarisation there from Ben.
Not a lot to say, really, is there?
There's not a great deal, to be fair.
There's nothing happening
I
here.
don't know. I guess they'll try and get 5 off this over, and then see if they can get 20 off the last 2. That'd be my guess.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Claw their way up to 130.
Yeah.
And then do their best.
Well, as someone said, they bowled them out for 99 in a row.
If someone offered them 130 right now, I think they'd take it.
They'd probably be happy. Yeah. They're going to have at least one more over from Harris Ralph. He's got 1 left. In the meantime, it's Naseem coming in, and he's gone for 27 off 3, so they might try to target him. That one's punched out into the offside. They're going to come back for 3. Very much one on the throw, but the throw never even got there, so they were safe enough.
I've forgotten I've gone on for a run out, haven't I?
Yeah, always a possibility.
10 to 1.
I've really won a bet today because I had my bet in the dubious hands of the man of the match adjudicator.
Oh, you got Sky was man of the match.
He came up trumps today. Sky was man of the match, so I'm happy with that.
That's a good return. What was that? 8 to 1 or something?
11.
11. Ooh, that's good.
Yeah. Here comes Naseem again. Very full. Toe of the bat up towards mid-off. He's up, so that'll just be a single. I've also got a bet for Sikandar Raza most 6s in the Zimbabwe innings, which is still in play because no one's got any.
So what does that mean? You get your money back?
I get my money back if there are no 6s in the remainder of this innings.
Well, they don't look like hitting a 6.
Not particularly big boundaries, yeah.
Someone might get a lucky top edge off one of the quicker bowlers over the keeper. Just creeps over the...
Maybe off Harris Ralph. Not off that one because it's a Yorker and it's just dropped into the offside and they'll pick up a single.
My best chance for a run out might be the last ball of the over. The last ball of
last
the innings.
Ball of the innings, yeah. If
trying to get back for a 2.
If they do the right thing and keep running.
Yeah. The bookies won't be happy with me on that one.
Well, they'll just have to suck that one up. That's
exactly.
That's all part of the equation.
Indeed. And they would have got 155 if they started going at the start of the innings. Is what they were predicted. They're not going to be there. 131 is prediction, which will have a 3 at the end of it. 263, which would be
gone for the ramp. Missed it, as often happens, and it just because it was the slower ball. And it bounces through again to the keeper, and there's no run. 14 balls left in the innings, 113 for 7 the score.
Go on, do something, Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Do something.
I was kind of saying that to the Netherlands towards the end of that game, or they did sort of do something for the last wicket again.
Even if the something is 3 wickets for no more runs.
Yeah, or a comedy run out, or
Comedy run out would suit me just fine. Right now.
Here comes Naseem, short, attempted
into his own
pull.
foot.
I think he just bottom edged it into the ground. Again,
we go.
the one batsman was following your instructions and trying to get back for a suicide second, but his partner said no.
Come on, man. Say yes. Just say yes.
Just say yes.
Exactly. But a suicidal single.
Which is what the bear says in life. He doesn't just say no.
Absolutely. Got to experience shit, haven't you? You know.
Yeah. In a safe and consensual manner.
What's the best thing you've ever said yes to?
Oh, God, I don't fucking know. I've lived for 51 years.
Well, there must be something where you were like, I wasn't going to do that, then I did it, and it was really good.
I would say quitting my job. And quitting, yeah.
Well, you retired.
Yeah, that was definitely the best to say yes. Or perhaps suppose that was a saying no in a way. Very short. He's got hold of that one though. It's shoveled it down, one bounce to backward square leg, and as is the fashion, the fielder is 20 yards in, so he can just keep it to 1.
I quit many a job. They were good decisions.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah. Working for the man. Don't like that.
Just Ideal says, thoughts, Guerrilla Cricket, on Holland's first 15 overs v India, aside from the catching? They bowled pretty well, Holland, didn't they?
They did. And
India didn't help themselves.
No. And this guy came in and smashed it about with ease, really. Got up to a score that you never thought Netherlands would probably get.
Yeah. I think if you're Holland, though, and you keep India to 179, and that includes Surya Kumar Yadav hitting 51 off 25, you'd say mostly we did a pretty good job there.
Yeah. Well, true.
Colin Suter says, No Bear was talking about the Australia-UK trade deal.
Oh, right.
Why have we got onto this subject?
I don't know.
Probably because there's so little happening in the game. That one goes over the top of leg stump. This is Harris Ralph bowled at the 19th over. Batsman backed away, tried to get something on it. Couldn't. It's another dot.
Okay, yeah, it's good for Australia and shit for England. That's typical Tories for you.
Drop in the ocean of all our problems.
Well, yeah, and it was only worth about 0.01% or something as well, wasn't it? To GDP, a really useful deal. Fucks over the agricultural sector, it makes no difference to the bottom line. That's Tories for you. Ideological natters.
Ralph is in again. Right, I'm over. It's a full ball, almost a Yorker. Gets a bat down on it, out to mid-wicket. That'll be a single.
Who's your favourite Tory?
My favourite Tory?
Yeah,
ever?
Ever?
Don't have one, really.
Don't mind Ken Baker too much.
Ken Baker. It's funny, isn't it? Because Ken Clark, I remember watching Ken Clark. He was a smarmy looking bastard in the 80s.
Hang on, did
90s.
I mean Ken Clark?
Maybe.
I think I did,
Ken
yes.
But Ken Clark now is a cigar chomping sort of wise old man. But actually, when he was a minister, he was an absolute cunt.
Yeah, but at least he did it with a bit of style.
Well, did he? He just looked like a smarmy fat fuck. Telling us all what was good for us, which is pretty much what Tories do anyway.
Oh, there's a big hit.
Shot.
That might be a 6.
Damn, that might be a 6.
No! He's dropped it. At least he didn't drop it for 4. It was Hyder on the boundary who ambled across. Didn't get in a good position because he was trying to catch that sideways, if you know what I mean. He was to the side where the ball actually was. He put his hands out and just plopped out onto the ground, so at least he didn't tip it over the boundary for 6.
Yes, exactly. And they nearly ran back for the suicide third and got run out. Which should have been
It
good
looked
as well.
6 all the way. He's suddenly, he's just. No wonder he's got tape on both fingers if he keeps dropping catches like that.
I think he thought he was close to the rope that he was, wasn't he? Because he didn't want to get behind it. He thought he was close to the rope.
Maybe, but it was not really very good.
That's just really crap. I mean, I'm not. It's by the standards of village cricket, that's a very difficult catch. But
yeah, international cricket, wasn't so good. Batsman obviously feeling he'd run his luck on the last ball, leaves that one, which was an interesting choice.
One for the over. Definitely looks like Phil Salt under that helmet.
Come on, boys, you've got to get 15 off these last 8 balls.
That's doable.
Got to try anyway. 73 metres to deep square leg, which isn't that far.
No,
again,
it's
it
not.
may be
far.
just
I mean, there's a lot of boundaries for it's 60.
no, but it's not 90.
Yeah.
Well, there wasn't any 90s.
85, 87 at the MCG. It's a big hit, man. Stoyness the other day was just clearing it with ease.
That was nuts. Yeah.
Stoyness
That was this
was
stadium.
Different gravy.
Yeah.
That was bottom edge on that
Go
one.
on,
It
get
goes
through for two
basically
here.
nowhere. Can they go two? No, the keeper is round. They'll just pick up one.
Harris Ralph's delivered an exhibition here, hasn't he?
I was going to say he's 1 for 11 with one ball to go. He's been too quick for them, basically.
Yeah. That was a slow ball. It was 81 miles an hour. He's a quality T20 bowler.
Yeah, he just got in a really horrible position for that one, Hyder. He surely had enough time to get across and get properly underneath it.
Yeah, I just think he thought he was closer to the ropes than he was. He had a good metre and a half, 2 metres between him and the rope.
And I quite like Wreck-It Ralph. That's quite a good side. But comes in, last ball of the over. It's full. He's only going to get a single, if that. Run out's in play, and it would have been anguish from the bear because he dropped that one down in front of him, but it was one of those that went down the wicket a bit further than he was expecting. The non-striker was fine, but Ralph was able to turn around and have a shy back at the bowler's end, and I think the batsman would have been short.
I think he would have been short as well, but he didn't hit the stump, so that's a bummer.
Nope. Right, let's go with some tweets then. Just Ideal says, do not miss slower balls, make batters look silly. I guess they make people look silly, don't they? They're funny in cricket in general, aren't they, when someone bowls really slow? Makes the whole game look stupid. Ban it, I say. Jeff Perkins, of course any trade deal between the UK and Australia favours the Aussies. You can only improve on being sent criminals in return for your gold, wool and wheat. Just Ideal says, no one referenced Pakistan's proclivity for catching collisions. Village.
Yeah, they are a bit village at times in the field.
It's kind of nuts, isn't it? You got the fastest bowling attack in the tournament,
Well,
and then like a bunch of guys just sort of ambling around.
Yeah.
Often they're the same guys. Wazim is in. He's also got 3 for 14. He's having a good day. Surely that was a wide.
Maybe not,
he's
'cause
got something on it.
He's gone so far across his stumps, I think.
Doesn't matter.
Shouldn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't.
That is
believe
a
it.
wide.
Look, if you
sake.
go to the leg side and it just goes past you, then maybe. But he's gone to the offside, so
Yeah.
I'd like to have another look at that one. I'm really perplexed as to why that wasn't given wide. I think Babar is as well.
Shouting at everyone.
He's not quite Kohli, but he's doing his sort of Kohli light. The umpire's now annoying the bowler by holding him up for some reason. Finally, he does come in. That's a decent hit
That's
out
gonna
into
be a
the leg
6.
side. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Ah,
God
damn
damn
it. That's blown you out of water in the last over.
Never mind. It wasn't to win. It was only to get my money back, which I probably didn't really deserve because my batsman got no sixes.
Oh, suddenly puts a lot of people in play.
Well, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, so that puts Messi Jez in play if they don't score any more runs. A few more runs, and we've got Warren Davis, and this is on the competition, by the way, the GPL, JB, and Messi Jez again if they get another handful. I need them to get 10 more.
Well, it's possible. The
That's
thing
right,
is,
then.
you can be as certain as you can be that Pakistan will knock these off. Oh, he's bowled him. That does stop the chances of many more boundaries. I think full and straight and fast from Wazim. He's got 4 for 20. Good day out for him. 89-mile-an-hour ball. And Evans, who did his best to push this innings towards something respectable. 19 off 15 is not bad for a number 9, but he has gone.
Yeah.
It's a slot ball really, but it was just too quick for him.
On your bike, mate.
Takes my run out as well. 2 and 2 balls have both been taken out in 2 balls.
You know.
Better to burn out.
Yeah. So what is it at the moment? 2-5-2 will be the winning score, won't it?
2-5-3.
2-5-3, yeah,
Would
which
be the
is
most
Messi Jez.
expected
So
winning
2-5-5 could also happen. So this is good territory if they score another run. You'd think they'd probably get a run somewhere though.
You'd think they'd scramble a couple. I mean, they've got 3 balls, and Garava is in, number 10. Give him a jingle.
Yeah, can do. What's his name? Garava.
Oh, he was the one who got injured, so he obviously wasn't that badly injured in the rain game, which is good to see.
He'll fight them all, standing tall. His name is Richard Garava.
Right, Wazim looking for a fifer. He's got 3 chances for it. That's the first one. It's onto the pads. It was quite a nice shot. Clipped past the square leg umpire. Deep square leg. Shadab is in. Should just be one. It is.
Okay, that's bad luck for messages.
Yeah.
Good luck for JB. J-Bay. Whatever it says. Too far away.
5, wouldn't it? Really, next.
Yeah.
JB. But of course, if they get a boundary off the last ball, that might bring Warren Davis in, actually, wouldn't it? No, 6 off the last ball would then fall take 260 if they didn't get any more runs.
Very much a game within a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it looked probably the most likely result was a rollover at this point.
Well, I think that's always.
Well, no, because
well,
yeah, possibly, but I mean, there's definitely people in play because you expect Pakistan to win, so you wouldn't expect it to be lower than whatever's achievable.
Now it's 1-2-5-7, and nobody's got that.
Good Yorker from Wazim. Another quick Yorker. The batsman squeezed his bat down on it, went into the leg side. Bowler picked it up, but they get through for a single. 128 for 8 with 1 ball to go. And Garava is back on strike.
So if they get a wicket now, they have to be scores tied, and then they hit 6 off the last ball with the messages.
Yeah.
Okay. That's sounding like a rollover. Messi just needed 5 off the last ball in the first game to win, which didn't happen.
Yeah, it was a 4, wasn't it? 1 run short.
Yeah. Wazim's in by round the wickets. It's clubbed back at him, back past the bowler. They should be going. Well, they should go for 2 anyway, but I'm sure they will. And they get comfortably back. So whatever that means, it's 2. The innings finishes on 130 for 8.
261.
261 is your most likely
Warren
GPL
Davis.
score, which is Warren Davis, so he's got to be happy.
Messi
In the
Jazz,
wider
yeah.
context of the match, it's hard to see Pakistan struggling to score this.
Yeah, I agree. I think Zimbabwe showed that actually it was quite a good pitch in the first few overs when they scored all those runs, and then Pakistan figured out what they should be doing. Bowl a bit short. They've got a lot of quick bowlers. Zimbabwe couldn't really live with that. I don't think Zimbabwe have got the firepower with the ball to put pressure on Pakistan's batters in the same way that was done to them. So I'd have thought that Pakistan will win this relatively comfortably.
Yeah, I think they'll go off quite reasonably slowly. I don't think they'll race.
There's nothing's going to rush Babar and Rizwan particularly.
No, but if the bowling's bad, they will certainly. Rizwan will try and attack it. Not so much maybe Babar. We'll see. Should we just have a quick break? Me and you are back on at the beginning of the next innings, Jack. So John B is going to take you through that, but we'll go back to an Indo talking to Tony. We'll see you shortly.
Is there something about the Indian character as a nation that breeds spin bowlers, or is it just about the conditions?
I think it is about the character, not just the conditions. Well, I mean, Shane Warne would be Shane Warne because he's Aussie and there's no other way he could be. So you know, whether he'd been a fast bowler, whether he'd been a spin bowler, Shane Warne would be Shane Warne. He couldn't behave any other. But if you were to generalize, I think as a spin bowler, you need patience. You need to be always thinking. You need to be stoic because you're getting hit all over the place. You're bound to get hit all over the place, right? There's going to be a Vivian Richards out there who's going to try and hit you out of the attack, right? So if you're Bishan Bedi and you get depressed by that, it's never going to work. So I think there's no point in a spin bowler wasting their time and energy in arguing with batsmen, for example, or sledging. If you want to be a successful spin bowler, in my opinion, and this, I've spoken to a lot of spinners, right? And I think they agree more or less with this. Leave the aggression to the captain. So leave it to a Ganguly, leave it to a Virat Kohli, right?
Yeah.
As a spinner yourself, if your style requires you, like for example, a Bedi or a Prasanna, to somehow buy your wickets, then do that. Okay? Don't worry about it. You still need to flight. You still need to spin, and you need to prevail over the batsman. And I think that's somewhere the story which I tell in Wizard, which I actually absolutely love, and this is a story that Ian Chappell told me about Prasanna and Gavin Robertson, the Aussie spinner. So Prasanna was brought to the nets by Ian Chappell on an Indian tour. and Gavin Robertson was there to get some tips from Prasanna, and he was listening to him absolutely rapt in attention when Prasanna was telling him about flight and being patient, etc. And then Robertson started to bowl, and then Prasanna stops him and he says that this is not an invitation to be hit into the boundary when you fly the ball, right? It's an invitation to loft it into the hands of a fielder. Words to that effect, right?
Yeah. It's kind of your attitude to life, isn't it? Is the glass half full or half empty? If you're a spinner, there's a man on the boundary. If you're the batsman, it's the guy in the crowd.
Exactly.
The question of which way you look at it.
That says a lot about how Indian spinners have looked at the art, and I think that's what Mike was referring to.
Now, one of the things. I mean, I'm lucky enough doing what I do now, a bit like you. Really gave up the day job and having far more fun. Whenever though one looks at history and particularly statistics around spinners and spin bowling and great performances. I mean, for any Englishman, you'll go back to Old Trafford in '56 and 90 wickets for Jim Laker and stuff like that. But there's always that inevitable caveat that there was uncovered pitches, and then there was when they covered pitches, and it's almost like the two. You always have to put that rider onto any discussion about great spin bowling and great spin bowlers' performances. Was it an uncovered pitch historically, or was it in sort of the modern day? Is that as true for Indian spin, or is that really less of a factor in India?
I think pitches have changed over the years, but it's a misconception that Indian pitches have always are spinning tracks, right? Of course, uncovered pitches, these days you don't have uncovered pitches, but even when you did, it was less of a factor in India because you were playing international cricket, and most of the cricket season, you were playing it in the winter. And it doesn't rain in the winter. So the impact of a sticky wicket, a drying pitch, it has always been a bit less. And contrary to popular belief, pitches in India have been flat tracks for a fair length of time over the decades. But because of the soil, the fourth and the fifth day have always taken spin. So I think that's something that first-class cricketers have always grown up with. So they know that if they're patient, they stay there with the game. The spin is going to come at the end when it will give that extra impact to their bowling. But until then, the quality of their bowling needs to be good enough for them to last. So I think that's
So that's right. I was going to say there's the sort of certainly the English view quite often is what's the spinner's role? I'm thinking 5-day test matches. What's the spinner's role in the first innings? It's often partnership breaking or containment. What's the spinner's role in the fourth innings? Ideally, if you've won the toss and you haven't done something daft like put the opposition in on a good track. What's the spinner's role in the fourth innings? It's about winning you the game. And it's almost like there's very two sides to what a spin bowler is asked to do. But I was just kind of interested as to whether that was more the case in the days of uncovered pitches and whether that applied to India. And it sounds as though, I think you're saying somewhat less so, because you have more consistency of weather, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's consistent. Weather is more consistent. The quality, honestly, I mean, if you look at I've covered 74 spinners, right? And as you rightly say, not all of them are of the same quality as the others, clearly. But you've got a very high percentage of very high quality spinners in there. And remember, this is the creme de la creme, right? So it's the guys who came into international prominence out of a billion people. So of course, there is something special about them. And if you look at the famous bowling spells in India, I think it's quite interesting if you look at that. If you look at Jasu Patel's 9 wickets against Richie Benaud's team, that was on a terrible matting wicket. And I remember a comment by Richie Benaud which said, Jasu Patel, that day was too good for us. Now that says a lot.
I can hear his voice in my head as well when you say that. Anything Richie ever said, you hear. Someone says it to you and you hear his accent in your head. It's a cricket thing, you can't help it.
Exactly. And then you have the famous debut 16 wickets of Mahendra Hirwani. And that was a diabolical pitch. The West Indies had no idea what to do with him, right? And he was in supreme form as a spinner that day. Of course, you have to be even if the pitch is bad, right? Otherwise, you don't get a Headley Verity kind of 10 for 10 unless you are good as well. But then you look at a couple of other performances. Look at
Well, welcome back, everybody. From that interlude with the venerable Mr. Bishop.
Yep. Hello.
Greetings, Jack and Messi.
How you doing?
Greetings, and the venerable Anindo.
Oh, indeed. Well, the more venerable. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening. Pakistan about to set off in pursuit of 131, which I don't suppose anybody sitting here thinks will be too taxing a challenge.
Probably not. Draw some jingles.
Why not? Let's jingle up Baba and Mr. Rizwan.
Everyone knows he's not as bold as he can hit the ball. Really quite far if the bowling's apart, the runs are short of no. Oh, he bats and he keeps, and that's what the deal is, because he's Muhammad Rizwan.
Have you any wool? No, sir. He doesn't, because he's a cricketer from Pakistan, and he's a really good one. Thank you very much.
Messi Jez, are you on next or now?
You're on next.
Am I not supposed to be here?
No.
Okay, I'll fuck
Booting
off.
you out. Get out of here.
That's unusual for me.
Yeah.
I'm usually on at the beginning. Good. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye.
By the way, Warren...
Enthusiastic Messi Jez.
Well, you got a chance of winning again, Messi.
Yeah, but Warren's in the box seat, isn't he?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Who's bowling?
If they get the score, he wins.
It's true, but if they get a boundary off the
Garava.
Let's Ngarava.
Garava, let's jingle him up.
Standing tall. His name is Richard Garava.
He is standing tall as well, isn't he? He's a very tall chap. So you would hope he might get a little bit of something out of this Perth wicket. Anyway, he's going to bowl the first ball. Mohammad Rizwan taking strike. 131 to win.
Well, in that, Anindo has sent the scorecard for that Zimbabwe beating Pakistan in Harare. The player of the game was Luke Yongwei, who is bowling today. He got 4 for 18 that day.
Yeah, 4 for 18 indeed. That's his best ever. We perhaps won't be surprised to hear.
Well, let's see what happens.
It's Ngarava who's going to open up, bowling to Rizwan, and this one cramps him. Ngarava thinks about sort of half gestures as if to appeal, but wouldn't actually surprise me if it pitched outside leg stump, but it's a dot ball anyway.
Yeah, pitched outside leg and was hitting the thigh pad way above the stumps.
Yeah, apart from that, it would have been a good
Apart
shot.
from that, it was out, yeah.
Yeah, apart from that, it was dead. Absolutely. But can't blame a boy for trying.
I do quite like this Zimbabwe shirt. I don't know if I'd wear it, but I think it's a good shirt.
It's quite
It's
colourful.
loudish. This one is spooned up in the air. It was a short ball. It's spooned up in the air by Rizwan, but there was no fielder directly square, and by the time they came round, they'd scampered through for a single, but not the most convincing shot by Rizwan.
No, I think
Literally just spooned it up on the leg side.
I think most bowlers probably enjoy bowling on this wicket, though.
Well, you're certainly going to get lift and
Yeah,
pace out of it, aren't you?
yeah, exactly.
Anyway, here he is again, bustling in, and bowls to Baba, who just dabs that out on the offside to the man at cover. No run.
Slow
And then
start.
he decides, having taken all that time to prepare himself, he's then got to do his laces up, so the gloves come off, and he has to do his boots up. He obviously didn't do them up very well the first time.
He did tie his laces very fast there, though. I mean, like he just cut away. He was starting, and by the time you finish that sentence, he's tied his laces and put his gloves on. That's what separates elite sportsmen from people like us.
Being able to tie your shoelaces. Well, he didn't look very elite there. He had a wave at a pretty wide one. Went through the keeper. No run again. How tall is Engarava? Does anyone know? He looks a very, very tall boy.
Oh, that sounds like one for Twitter.
Yeah, 6 foot. Well, Pakistan is quite short as well.
Are we talking centimetres or feet and inches?
Feet and inches.
6'4", you reckon?
6'4", 6'5", possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe something like that. He's in again anyway, and this is down the leg side and very well taken by the keeper. It's called a wide, quite rightly, because it's down the leg side. Even though one late in the Zimbabwean innings wasn't called a wide, even though it was down the leg side.
Yeah, it went. Good pace, 87 miles an hour.
Yeah, it looked swift. Just didn't quite have the direction, and a sprawling stop behind the stumps. He's in again, and this one's wide of the off stump, and another wave and a miss from Baba. Hasn't quite got his radar right yet. His laces might be done up, but his bat's not in tune.
Nah.
But, I'm sure it won't take long.
I'm sure it won't.
But, yeah, this sort of left arm across the batter actually bounced before it got to the wicketkeeper. Anyway, he's in again to complete his over, and Baba finds the middle of the bat this time, but finds the inner ring on the offside. There's no run, and that's the end of the opening over. It's 2 for none.
Tweets wise, who's in? We've only got Viking Packs replying to an Indo who's sent out that scorecard. It says "in your dream," and that's all we have on Twitter.
Well, they're behind the run rate. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you're Zimbabwe, all you can do is dream, isn't it? Really, but you know, when you've only won one of 17 previous encounters, and you've only got 130 on the board, it doesn't look good.
No.
Not at all.
Blessing Muzarabani is going to bowl the second over.
We should have a jingle for him then.
Yeah, we do.
Indeed, absolutely.
A blessing on your head, Muzarabani, Muzarabani. You're not quite the spearhead, Mazel Tov, Muzarabani.
Oh, it's gone over my head.
Anyway, he's in, and that's a full toss, and it's sort of cross-batted down the ground to mid-on, no run.
I was just going
If
to
I
ask.
remember rightly, I think Blessing Muzarabani had a spell in county cricket with Northamptonshire.
He did, and he got injured. Only reason I know that is because someone else said that a couple of games ago when they were on.
Why did you say that? You could have claimed good knowledge.
Oh, well, I could have done, yeah, I know. But
as usual, you've undermined yourself.
I'm honest, that's all.
Here is Muzarabani again, and this is right on the stumps, and just pushed forward by Rizwan to sort of short mid-off, really. And there's no run.
Thing is, Pakistan only got time here. They don't have to go off at a rate, do they, at all?
No, absolutely not. You know, these two are renowned for being their pair that make the bulk of the runs. So they don't want to do anything silly, do they?
No, get themselves in and then up the rate.
Here is Mazrabani again, and again he's right on the money. Just pushed up again to that man at short mid-off. No run.
Again, good pace up there, 140 clicks, nearly 87 miles an hour.
Well, that's it. I mean, Zimbabwe, they're not far away, are they? From some of the good teams. It's probably just the depth.
It's the depth
and the batting power
and the experience. I guess playing against the better teams, they don't get enough time against them to try and figure them out. Maybe there's only so much analysis you can do from a TV screen.
Mazrabani again, and this is swung down to fine leg. Wasn't really going down leg side, but he swung it down to fine leg with one hand off the bat, and they crossed for a single. 3 for no wicket. Is there any urgency in the sense of, because you've lost a game, you need to look at your net run rate?
Well, their net run rate must be virtually 0 or minus .0 something or other. I mean, they lost on the last ball of the game, didn't they? So
I think,
and obviously South Africa's is 5.2.
Yeah.
After their win this morning. Here's Blessing Mazrabani again, and that's outside off stump, and it's waved at very unconvincingly by Baba, who really hasn't looked himself quite yet.
No, he hasn't. He's faced 5 balls, yet to score a run. He's just waved his bat at a lot of stuff and missed it by quite a long way.
It just looks very loose, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Isn't one of the consequences of South Africa drawing or tying or not resulting that Pakistan don't really need to worry about net run rate? They just need to.
No, because they know if they beat
Yeah.
them, they're going to qualify anyway. Yeah, that point could really haunt South Africa, couldn't it, later in the tournament? Here is Mazrabani again, and again he's right on the stumps, very full, driven up to mid-on, no run. So another ball goes by without Baba getting off the mark, and it's the end of the over.
Yeah, does that not? Oh, I don't know. It's me, isn't it?
Yeah, you go. You do some tweets, mate.
Okay, we got one. Brian, Pakistan should wrap this up by the 15th over. If they start too slowly,
That ain't happening.
They'll trip over themselves with some comedy runouts late in the game.
I would find it hilarious.
That would add some interest.
It would do, wouldn't it?
That would add some intrigue.
I wouldn't even begrudge Messi Jez a low ball Guerrilla Cricket Prediction League £200 or £300 win if Pakistan didn't win this. I think it would be so funny.
It would be. I imagine the odds on Zimbabwe winning from here about 30 to 1. It should be about 30 to 1.
Win prediction.
They do have some history with self-destruct. Here's Ngarava again. Oh, that's a cracking delivery of that. Wow, how has that not cleaned him up?
It's interesting, isn't it? Because in the first innings, I mean, Shaheen Shah Afridi, who you think is one of the best at that in-swinging ball on an awkward length, hardly got a ball to move at all in the air. That one seems to have come back, swung, and then come back off the seam.
Swung a long way between bat and pad, through to the wicketkeeper.
Cut him in
Poked a
half.
varnish away from dismantling the off stump. That was a snorter. He's in again. That's not quite such a snorter. It's pulled away over the infield. It's going to be the first boundary of the innings.
There's not one boy for me, I must have 2 or 3, I need 4.
Banged it in almost halfway down, and it just sat up, and Rizwan dispatched it over mid-on for 4. Bit of a letdown after his previous delivery, but I guess that's the issue. You can bowl cracking deliveries, but can you bowl them consistently at this level? He's in again. That one cramps Rizwan a little bit for room, and he sort of tries to cut it away on the offside, but doesn't beat the infield. One hand off the bat again, no run.
But it's also, if you try and bowl the same ball every time, you get it slightly wrong, slightly different length, someone like Rizwan will just jump on it if it's just that fraction too short and smash it like he did.
Yeah, there are pretty small margins, aren't they? Here's Ngarava again, and this is quite full, and it's driven up to mid-on. There's a shot at the stumps!
Would have been close.
I think that would have been
Wow!
Might well
I
have
think
been.
that might have been out if it had hit.
I think it hit Rizwan in the end, didn't it?
Yes, I think it did. It was a
Either that or he belly flopped and winded himself.
I think he belly flopped.
dived full length. He certainly seems to be winded. Yeah, I think he's
Oh, he'd have been out.
No, it's missed him. It would have been out.
Ooh,
But he
yeah.
literally dived full length.
Superman.
Straight into the sternum. Yeah.
Unnecessarily close.
Yeah, that was a bit of a strange one, wasn't it? Maybe the slow start getting to him.
That's the Pakistan one. That's Pakistan for you, though, isn't it? And there's always a comedy run out in Pakistan.
Yeah, there's always something weird going on, but yeah, that would have been quite painful, I would think. Particularly at Perth, pretty hard, bouncy pitch, and smash your sternum straight into it, trying to make your ground. Anyway, here's Engarava again. He's in, and
That's a good
Bubba's
shot.
finally off the mark with a shot that beats mid-on. Again, it was a little bit short, and he sort of cross-batted it over mid-on for 4.
That was a nice shot. Yeah, he rocked back, smashed it
Sort
through the
of
onside.
whipped it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Sort of whipped it over the top. He'll feel a bit better for that because he's been sketchy so far. This has been a bit of a licorice all sorts over this one. Here's Engarava again, and that's slapped away. That's a tremendous piece of fielding at cover, which in the end prevents any runs at all. That looked like it had 4 all over it. That was Shumba, I think, getting down. Tremendous right-handed stop. That's the end of the over. It's 12 for none.
Recent discovery from Just Ideas is Bazid Khan on the TV comms. Son of Majid Khan, grandson of Jahangir Khan, who played Tests for India. Wasn't
Nepotism.
there? Yeah, possibly. There was also a Jahangir Khan, I think he was 6-time squash champion when I played squash when I was a kid. He was quite big.
Indeed, yeah, there was.
We're
showing our age, Bear.
Well, indeed. Leah
Sadly.
Won't be the first time, won't be the last.
Well, no. PAK's net run rate is obviously not minus 0.05 as India reached the target exactly off the last ball. That's true. If they can do it.
4th over, and Evans is going to bowl for the first time. He's in and he bowls, and that's quite full, and it's played up to mid-on, and there's no run.
Nice shot for no run.
Probably have his jingle as well, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we should do.
Yeah,
We should jingle him up.
E for Evans.
Only fair.
International heartthrob, Brad Evans. Hunky heartthrob, Brad Evans. He's got the blood.
He's on the way again, and bowls, and this is slightly to the leg side, a big swing. If there was a connection with the bat, it was a very small one. Not quite sure whether that's going to be signalled a leg by or a run.
It looked like
no,
leg
it's
by
a
to
leg
me,
by.
yeah.
There was no bat at all.
Yeah, going down leg side. Oh, I thought there might have been a bat, and they might have half appealed.
Clicks over to 13 for no wicket. Brings Rizwan back onto strike.
Going nowhere fast, Pakistan here.
Indeed. Here's Evans again. Oh, that one squares up. Oh, he's gone. Squared him up, and he's gone. He's edged it, and it's carried to just backward point, I think. Smart catch, and Baba's very skittish innings is over.
Oh my word.
In fact, I think it's probably more gully. It's a bit of a nothing shot, really. Just kind of waved at it, and it flew above head height to the man at gully who held it well. 13 for 1.
Yeah, I think Zimbabwe have completely deserved that as well. They learned from how Pakistan bowled in the first innings. They bowled that good test match length. They've got the bounce out of the pitch. And Pakistan haven't handled it particularly well, I don't think.
No, they're not taking any risks. They tried. Well, they wafted at a few, but not really connected. Just gone off too slowly. I mean, I think you've got to try and be a bit more aggressive.
Bit of a
Bubba
test.
just never looked in though, did he? He just never looked right at all.
A little bit of a challenge possibly for Pakistan's middle order now. I mean, we know what Shan Masood's going to do, and that'll be dig in and score at the rate he scores. I mean, in a sense, this game's made for Shan Masood. But one more, and you know, you never know.
You get one of these two, and you might give him a little bit of the EBGBs, mightn't you?
Possibly.
Here's Evans again, and Masood digs that out, and they take a sharp run. There was a shy at the stumps. I think he would have been home pretty comfortably. So Masood's off the mark, first ball. 14 for 1.
Shadab comes in at 6, doesn't he?
Well, they've got Shadab. Nawaz can throw the bat around. Asif Ali's in the side, isn't he? He's got a bit of pop. But none of these guys are people who, you know, you'd want to
have too long.
You trust with keeping their wicket.
No.
If you're Zimbabwe, in comes Evans again, and this is played off his pads, but straight to mid-wicket. If you're Zimbabwe, you want, bearing in mind what happened to Pakistan a few days ago, you just want to get them to the point where it's a little bit tight, don't you?
Yeah.
And just see if they'll self-destruct. That's what you've got to do. You've got to stay in it long enough for them to just get a little bit twitchy. Here's Evans again, and this is skied up in the air.
He's going to get away with it.
Behind the stumps, he's going to run away for 4.
6. He landed over the boundary.
6. It's cleared the boundary. Yes, it's been signalled as 6 by Richard Kettleborough. Wasn't a great shot, I didn't think. It's an ugly top edge.
It's a very ugly top edge. It's got a lot on it.
That's flown over the top of the keeper and just about cleared the boundary. Somewhat fortuitous, I think we'd call that.
I mean, he's stone dead LBW if he misses it.
Absolutely.
He's really lucky that
dead.
doesn't go straight up in the air to the keeper. He's also lucky that fine leg isn't in play. And he's lucky it's only a 60-metre boundary because he gets 6 for it.
Exactly. All the lucks with Rizwan.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, there wasn't much that was classy about that. But it takes them to 20 for 1 at the end of the 4th over.
They can be the margins in these low-scoring games, though, can't they? You know, if he's out there, everything we just said.
That goes to hand. All of a sudden, they're in trouble. Here's Muzarabani back in again, and this is squirted down to third man for a single. 21 for 1. Yeah, that goes to hand. All of a sudden, you're 14 for 2. And you know arguably your two best players are back in the shed.
Then there's nerves come into play.
Yeah, all of a sudden it starts to get a little bit squeaky.
Alright. That's about all I can say.
Had his hand up there briefly, so we're just Muzarabani's being held up, but he's coming in now and bowls, and this is a little bit too far to the leg side. It's helped round to fine leg. Another single, 22 for 1. We're definitely keeping Bear up at this point. He's been up a long time.
He's had about 4 pints. I think he's just got
It's on my 3rd can of beer.
No, it's on air in the green room. He's nailing the vodkas like there's no tomorrow.
No, I can't do that anymore. I used to get really plastered on this show in the bad old days.
Here's Muzarabani again, and this is right on the mark, but they steal a quick single as it just goes past the stumps at the bowler's end. Fielder has to come round, gives him a chance to cross for 1. 23 for 1.
I remember we had a Christmas party before COVID, some pub in East London, and then we all got up in town or something. We all came back. No, we did a quiz for Cricket Without Borders, and then there was England-Australia WT20 or something that started at midnight. We came back here, we were all slaughtered. I think I passed out on mic at about 4 in the morning.
Muzarabani again, and he's bowled him, hasn't he?
He's chopped on.
He's bowled him. He's chopped it on.
Oh my word!
He's chopped it on.
Well,
Rizwan's gone for 14.
99 all out.
So that that top edge 6 didn't prove too expensive. This is good delivery actually. Just comes in a fraction and he tries to. He was trying to cut it. I think it was too close to him, and he's inside edged it onto the stumps. What a roar! He enjoyed that one.
Well, I think this might be game
big
on.
Celebration. Why not?
Could be. I mean, yeah, he's tried to just angle it down at third man. It's come in and it's got too big on him, and he's got the under edge.
23 for 2.
Is that Craig Overton in that advert as well?
Is that who it is?
I think it's Craig
I've
Overton.
been wondering. I knew I recognised them, but I just couldn't place the face.
Yeah, he's not even in the squad, is he?
No.
Oh well.
Neither's. I mean, Phil Salt's a pretty fringe player as well. It's kind of an interesting two they've got.
Well, maybe because
they've got Rohit Sharma from India. You'd think they'd be able to get Butler.
Yeah, you'd have thought so, wouldn't you?
Salt might not be a fringe player for much longer if England keep playing like they have been.
Well, they might give him a chance. It's true.
Well, I just think being captain, opener, and wicket keeper is a big ask.
I don't think it is in T20.
I think it's even more so in T20.
I don't think so. I think it's
even
all quite
more so.
I think it's captain. It's quite formulaic, and everyone's got an idea. Bowlers know what they want. I just don't think captain.
To make a bowling change.
You need to make a. Well, yeah. But, I mean, you're thinking about that naturally. I think as the game goes on, I don't think it's a big decision-making thing.
I think he made some quite bad decisions in the last game.
Did you?
Yeah. I
in
think,
what sense?
Well, where he bowled Wokes and Wood at what times I think was sort of slightly odd.
I think he get Wokes on for an over too long, didn't he? Definitely. At the
Anyway, back to Perth. It's Musrabani, and this is let go by the new man, who is Iftikhar. And we have one ball of the 5th over to go.
That's a one ball of our stint, isn't it? Then we're having a
yes,
switcheroo.
before we have a switcheroo.
Back in business.
Oh, you need to let Tim in. He's joining you.
Who's Tim?
Tim. He's
I know Tim. Yeah.
Yeah, Tim. No, it's not that one. It's the middle one. It's you, him, and Messi, isn't it? And you're doing ball by ball.
Hey.
Yeah.
Tim will be very happy about this morning's game. I imagine.
Thought so. Yeah.
Indeed, he will be, and rightly so.
Did I click admit? Is he in?
He's coming. Yeah, he's there. Should be.
He's coming. He's here. Tim has joined us. Anyway, here's the last ball of my stint. Musrabani is in, and it's just literally played back just on the side of the pitch. No run, so a wicket for Musrabani. 1 for 4 in 2 overs. 23 for 2 off 5. 108 more to win from 90 balls. And I'll see you later.
Yeah, I'll just leave you with Josie Oak. He says, back off an online staff meeting. That's 2.5 hours of my life I won't get back.
Well,
and on that note, I shall leave you.
Right, chaps, I'm just going to play the Iftikhar jingle, which goes on for about 9 days.
Alright.
So I might turn it down halfway through.
Why do I find it hard to believe the next step? Strike rate of 142.
Well, I reckon that Zimbabwe. Oh,
that's enough of that. Shan plays it back. Shan Masood plays it back to the bowler and gets a hand on it, then deflects it into Iftikhar. And the upshot of all of that is that there's no run. How you doing, fellas?
All good, man. All good.
G'day, Tim. I reckon Zimbabwe have just decided they're going to prove today that they are really well cut out for 5-over matches. I mean, they started really well batting, really well bowling.
Here is Evans again in on the hip of Shan Masood. He'll pick up a leg by. Not able to cash in on a little bit of a loose ball there. How are you getting on, Tim? Did you enjoy the win earlier on?
Yeah, fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. All the boxes ticked. I reckon from a South African point of view, couldn't be happier.
I don't agree.
What do you? What?
You only had two batters are any good.
Only needed 2.
Yeah, but
Iftikhar
fell on the heap.
On strike, steers one to backward point. It was a nicely timed shot. He'll count himself unlucky that he didn't get a run there. 24 for 2, Pakistan. They've lost both the big boys.
I was just going to say, the fact that they lost both the two guys that they rely rather heavily on, does give Zimbabwe a chance. It's a slim chance, but it does give them a chance.
Yeah, if I think they've got 10, 15 more runs, they'd be really in business here, Zimbabwe. As it is, Pakistan probably still the favourites as the ball is pushed back past the bowler to mid-on. There'll be no run there. Playing very watchfully, Pakistan. I suppose the thing they don't want to do, Pakistan, is bat in this way for too long and effectively turn that 130 into a 150, which could be very dicey.
Absolutely. I thought that Zimbabwe pushed a little too hard when they lost those wickets in the middle overs. Pakistan, as you say, are doing the opposite. They're making sure they've got wickets in hand, but it might be problematic.
Short ball from Evans is, we'll have to have a look at that one, I think. It's pulled by Iftikhar in front of square, runs away to the fence, it's fielded well, and then the backup fielder comes in, picks the ball up and runs over where the boundary would have been if it hadn't been taken further backwards with the fielder Zhongwei's dive. I don't know, I guess it's not a 4 because the rope isn't there anymore, but it should be a 4.
Not a 4.
He's carried
That's
the
not
rope.
a 4. Great fielding.
He's made the boundary 2 metres bigger with the slide. Look at it, he's grabbed it. It's like he's trying to drag someone into touch.
But that's after the ball's been released. That's fine.
Yeah. No, it's the next guy. It's the next guy that I think's the look at him. He's miles over the rope, but the rope is miles back from where the rope was.
Yes, that's going to be. They'll call that a 4.
I feel like, in a sense, that's harsh, but whatever. Yeah.
Oh yes.
The other guy looks injured.
Yeah. Sorry, a big cough there. 4 runs. Probably shouldn't have been. The first bit of fielding was good enough to prevent it. Anyway, 28 for 2 is the upshot of that. And Iftikhar also off the mark. So Brad Evans will bowl his final delivery of his second over. It's wide, it's cut, not timed particularly well. Fielded, and there's no run there. So 28 for 2 is the conclusion of the power play. And we will go to social media.
Yes, indeed. Warren says, question for travel-savvy gorillas. Melatonin for jet lag, yes or no? I haven't flown for years now. I've stopped. I've never used melatonin, so I can't tell you. Warren?
Neither have I. So, no, never used
it. Treating gratuitous advice for Warren. Brian Barry says, g'day cricket nerds, I'm sort of going for Zimbabwe to win as much as possible, considering they knocked out the US from contention of being in this very tournament. If you can't beat them, beat them. The other thing Zimbabwe have got going for them, of course, is if they manage to finish 4th in this group, which is a real possibility now that they've got that point from the South African game, they automatically qualify for the 2024 World Cup in the USA and West Indies.
Yeah.
Angelic Scooter says you only had 2 batters who are any good. I mean, it's T20. How many more do you need? Plus, if you count the penalty runs, they broke the partnership record in a World T20 tournament. That's true. But
Amen to that. Amen to that.
They were pretty shambolic. For the last 5 overs, they were really pretty poor.
Sikandar Raza is going to be the next Zimbabwean bowler into the attack, doing his Sunil Narayan tribute act. The first delivery is pushed to long on for a single.
Sikandar, watch your story. Sikandar, cack out your tongue. Sikandar, you'll be sorry. Sikandar, you really ain't that young.
That's a bit harsh to drag age into it.
I thought the same, yeah.
Good on you. Somebody's got to look after us old buggers.
Here he comes again, over the wicket to the right-handed Iftikhar. Iftikhar plays that off the back foot, picks up a single. I think really there's probably 2 there, but quite lazy running from Pakistan means to only pick up 1. There are some quite big pockets of space at this Perth ground, and I think Zimbabwe, to their credit, did cash in on that. on their way up to 130. I think you're right, Tim. I think they maybe got a little ahead of themselves at certain points in the innings. As Shan Masood defends the third delivery of the over.
Yeah, I think they thought they needed 160, but really 145 on this pitch would have been very, very decent.
Yeah, as Kanda comes through again, that's turned by Shamsud towards deep mid wicket, and they will come through for another single, so Pakistan move up to 31. Now, yeah, I mean, I think if you watched the other night, it's Sri Lanka batting first got 157, and that actually wasn't too bad a score, I didn't think. It's only because Stoinis got 60 off 18 balls that Australia walked away with a really comfortable victory. Other batters in that team struggled big time.
Absolutely.
Raza bowls a delivery, it's pushed back to him, a little bit of a crowd catch. I'm sure that excited some of the Zimbabwe fans. Dot ball. Get a nice look on the replay of one, Sakanda Raza's arse, but also two, the technique he bowls with. He hides the delivery behind his back as he comes into bowl, so that the batter isn't sure whether it's going to be the Karen ball or the regular off spinner. The final delivery of the over is straight, hits the pad of Iftikhar, bounces towards fine leg. They don't come through for a single. There's a strangled appeal from behind the stumps, but nothing that interests the captain. So 31 for 2 is the conclusion of the 7th over.
So we're up to date on tweets. Over on YouTube, we have a new listener, Tom from Japan. Welcome aboard, Tom Gill. So it's nice to have new listeners coming in and being embraced by the crowd on YouTube, having good discussion there. Welcome. And Samantha G is there, and Stephen Kelk, and Mr. Higgins, and so to who. You're all very welcome.
So 7 overs gone, 31 for 2 is the score. That means Pakistan need around 100 off their next 13 overs. What's that in delivery? 78 balls. Should still be relatively easy for them to accomplish. Jongwei is going to come into the attack. Famously has his best figures against Pakistan. His first delivery is on a length and an improvisational shot from Shamsud will pick up 4. He shuffles across and scoop flicks the ball down to the long leg boundary.
There's not one boy for me, I must have 2 or 3, I need 4.
Unfortunately for Zimbabwe, Shad Masood is in very good touch.
Yeah, and he's another player that's built for these kind of situations. He's got a good range of scoring shots, so it'll be quite hard to tie him down once he's settled. Might not, tee off and hit a 50 ball or a 25 ball 50 for you very often, but when you are pursuing 130, it's nice to have a Shad Masood around. As he pushes to extra cover, and there's a shot at the stumps at the non-striker's end. As Iftikhar had set off a little early looking for a single, I think he'd have been home safe. But good fielding anyway from Zimbabwe.
They certainly have been committed with bat and ball at the moment, Zimbabwe, as you say.
Yeah, they're probably not far. I mean, I think I was saying just before you came on, Tim, that they're clearly not far away from some of the bigger teams in this tournament, as a short ball from Jongwei is hit back past him. I think it stuck in the pitch a little bit. It wasn't timed particularly well by Shad Masood. He'll only pick up a single to mid off.
Well, interesting you say that. In our podcast I do with Paul, I said I was more worried about the Zimbabwe game than the Bangladesh game. I think if that game had gone the full 20, it may well have been a very competitive fixture.
Yeah, I mean, I think in these conditions, certainly, I would rather be a Zimbabwe fan than a Bangladesh fan. I'm really not impressed by Bangladesh at all. I think it's only because of some relatively helpful home conditions, and that's putting it quite diplomatically, that I think they even qualified automatically for the Super 12 at all. As Jongwei's in, down the leg side, I think that flicked the pad. There's a celebration though, and it's being given. Good catch behind. Iftikhar, we'll see if he reviews it. Doesn't look like he will. Strangle down the leg side, and that could be another game-changing moment.
Another one bites the dust. I think that is going to be out, Fred. Another one bites the dust.
Little fine edge and a good catch.
Yeah, not a great delivery, but Zimbabwe will definitely take that in the situation. Wickets, a wicket.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a horrible way to get out there.
Yeah, I mean it is, but like you probably should be cashing in on that ball, to be honest.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say, yeah.
36 for 3 Pakistan. I think really in a spot of bother here. They didn't show any ambition in the power play whatsoever. They've slipped behind their run rate. They've lost their 2 best batters. Iftikhar, I mean, let's be honest, less of a loss, but still a wicket, still one of their frontline batters. Somebody is going to have to pull a bit of an innings out, I think, for them here.
Yeah.
It could be Shan Masood. It could be one of the more powerful players with a little dash. But I'm not sure this is the pitch that will suit somebody like Asif Ali or Nawaz or even Shadab Khan, who is the man they have sent in at number 5. Let's quickly find his jingle, wherever it is.
What's the matter, you? Show a little respect. The leg is spitting his heart, but he turns it off at the deck. Oh, he's not too bad. He's always got.
Chung Wei in again. A dab and run from Shadab gets him off the mark, taking Pakistan up to 37. Yeah, do you follow a lot of Zimbabwean cricket as well, Tim, or not so much?
It's difficult to follow them. Although they're our neighbours, partly because we don't play them very often, and that's part of the problem. So I have been keeping an eye, but I'd be lying if I said I've been following them closely.
A little steer from Shan Masood will pick up 4 runs. He guides it, well, basically through first slip. It's a delicate shot, but a profitable one.
2 + 2 is our man.
41 for 3 at the end of the over. Messages.
There's a little bit more discussion about the time when Zimbabwe beat Pakistan, when Zimbabwe got 118 for 9 and Pakistan were all out for 99. There's shades of that now, and India points out that somebody says dreams carry a tag of becoming a reality, but India points out that Jonglia had 4 for 18 in that game.
Yep.
It's much more interesting than I expected it to be, put it like that.
Tim, do you think there's any appetite in South Africa for more cricket against Zimbabwe or Namibia even?
Possibly more Namibia. If I go on the fact that the domestic sides play a lot of cricket there at the moment, and we've played SA merging fixtures in Namibia as well. We seem to be more in Namibia at the moment than Zimbabwe.
Shadab takes a single down too long off. Is there a reason for that?
Not off the top of my head. I would say in recent years it's been because when we've played Zimbabwe, it hasn't been very competitive. And I'm talking more longer formats, not so much the T20s.
A push to cover doesn't bring Pakistan a run, so well bowled by Raza. He'll be happy with that. And he comes in again. Oh no, he walks the run up. Set off a little bit prematurely there. Shan Masood stands very still in his batting stance, like no trigger movement whatsoever. That's down the leg side from Raza. It's not a particularly good ball, probably a little quick. It's tickled by Shan, and it will mean he picks up another 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
The other reason, Jack, is money. There isn't the financial benefit towards playing Zimbabwe either at home or there. Cricket South Africa needs money, as you well know. So
Cool, that's a good delivery from Razzie. He finds the right line there, slides one past the outside edge of Shamsu's bat. I thought for a moment there might have been a little edge, but there wasn't. So it's a dot ball, 46 for 3. And Razzie will come through again. He gets through his overs very quickly, which is part of the job of a spinner. The ball is steered into the deep mid-wicket gap by Shan Masood, and it means that Pakistan can come through for a fairly comfortable 2. That's the 7th run off this over, relieving a little bit of the pressure. Bear would be very angry. He says you must always have a mid-wicket if you're a spin bowler. And I think Shan Masood might repeat the trick here, but perhaps this time he hits it a little stronger, and it's a good piece of fielding, I think, from the man on the rope who swoops in and keeps Pakistan to a single. Shan Masood keeps the strike. It's 49 for 3, and we'll go back to Messi Jez.
Leah points out that Pakistan's run rate for the last 5 overs is still below the required run rate. This is far from over. I think it is, but you know, 1 over could change this so quickly. If you just got 15 or 20 runs off 1 over, suddenly it'll feel like it's all over.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even a couple of 10s probably break the back of it, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, if this became 70 off of 11, say, then you'd probably say it's going to be very difficult for Zimbabwe to win. However, Pakistan have got to do that. Like they have to actually to pull off that feat. It's quite easy to say that would change the game. It's not necessarily that easy when you're out there.
That's right.
The other way, of course, Zimbabwe need a clump of wickets. They need a couple of quick wickets.
Williams will come into the attack, and his first delivery is dropped into the offside. Pakistan come through for a quick single. The bails are broken and there's a half appeal, but I don't even think they're going to go upstairs here. So we will play on. Good.
You get the feeling that they are just pushing that little bit harder over the last couple of overs, don't you?
Well, I don't think they want it to get above 8.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of good overs for Zimbabwe, even if they don't take a wicket, could get it above 8 and over, and then if you do take a wicket after that, you're really in trouble if you're Pakistan. They've kept it ticking over the last 2, and that will help as well as Williams drifts into the pads of Shadab Khan, and he picks up a single down to deep square leg. As we said earlier as well, net run rate doesn't really come into things for Pakistan so much because of the rain off earlier in the week. They just need to beat South Africa. So a short ball here is turned around the corner by Shan Masood with a little bit of authority. Perhaps he'll wish he got that a little finer for a 2 or potentially a 4, but it's just a single. 3 more balls of our spell together. I can see in the next slot Andy is down twice, so I don't know if one of you wants to hang about, do some social media. There's a ball from Williams drops slightly short and is cut for an easy single by Shadab Khan.
I'll hang in if you like. There's not a lot of social media going on anyhow.
Here he comes again, Williams. Barely any run up him when he strolls in and sort of bowls off 2 yards. Another single. It's quite slow as well, down at 90k PH. That ball, another single. 54 for 3 Pakistan. Just about to reach the halfway point where we'll have a break. As Williams fires one in. It's a good delivery. It means 5 from the over. I think Zimbabwe would probably say that's an acceptable over to get through for one of their spinners. And I will pass over to Andy
and John. So clearly one of you can come in and do one of the things.
John's here. That's all right. If you can do. Sorry, I'm just looking at the thing. Oh, John, you're on summarising. I'm happy to hang around and do the socials.
Okay. Fine. We are on break, so let me shift over into the jingles chair. Why don't you catch us up on those while I shift over?
Well, they are actually up to date. People have been very, very quiet on Twitter. There's a lot going on YouTube, but there's a lot of internal discussion there, which is good. I like to see that, but it's not stuff really to be read out. Although Warren's just said he asked for advice as to whether to take melatonin for jet lag, and got none. So says alternatively, I'll just get wrecked and stay on bear time.
It's a plan.
Which is, I don't know, alternative. Well, I mean, if you're looking well set, Warren, for the GPL today, so you'll have an extra $300 to spend on treatments, if that's the case. £300, I should say.
Well, this game's not over yet. Pakistan have certainly taken it slowly for those first 10 overs. They're 54 for 3. They've lost the two guys you would most back to knock these runs off, which is the openers, Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan, and Zimbabwe making a pretty good fist of things.
Yeah, they are. I'm kind of wondering how much of what we've seen today so far stems back from what happened on Monday, really. Are Pakistan still a little bit shell-shocked and bruised, you asked yourself?
Well, they shouldn't be, although it was, the obviously a huge game in front of 90,000 people, which they should have won about 4 times over. But it can happen. That's part of the mental strength, is to be able to come back from this kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. They just it's almost as if they've kind of reverted to the other extreme today, and they're trying to be too careful not to lose.
Yes, it can certainly happen.
Yeah.
Well, they need another 87 in the last 10 overs. 7 wickets in
77,
hand.
I think.
Sorry, 77, you're right. But they are behind where Zimbabwe were at this stage, for what that is worth.
Yeah, we hadn't had the great Zimbabwe collapse at this stage, had we? So
no, it was
came a little later.
They lost 4 wickets in 2 overs. Yeah, there were 2 possible hat-tricks. They were taking wickets so quickly we didn't even see one of them.
That's right.
Neither did Sky. No.
Right, change of bowling. I'll jingle this fella up when I can. He's going to come in and bowl the first ball first. It's short, it's punched down to point. Point dives to pick up. They should be through for a run. Indeed they are. So that's going to be this fella.
There's good times and there's bad times in Ryan World.
There sure is. He didn't have a good game against, who was it? Too late in the day. The last qualifier they played. It might have been. Yeah, can't remember. That one is tipped into the leg side. He goes after it himself. He's gone for the run out, so it should always please the bear, because he's just had a bet on 16 to 1. Next wicket a run out. I think the batsman would have been in there, but it was quite good work by the bowler.
16 to 1 with Pakistan batting. That's unusual.
Well, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's generous, I think we'd call it.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget they've all got all the other ways of getting out.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Burl is in again
wow.
to Shan Masood. It's short. He's going to punch it out to the sweeper. That should just be the one. I don't know. Those get round. No, they're coming back for 2.
No,
and
they're getting 2.
Throws it directly to the middle of the wicket. That didn't help. So that's a comfortable 2.
Yeah, that's a dire throw, isn't it? That's indecisive, to say the least.
Yep, he certainly tried to cover both options there with that throw. Got the multicoloured game of cricket. The yellow shirt bending down to do up the lime green boots, while the umpire looks on in his pink jacket. It didn't used to be like this. Burl is in once again. Again, it's back of a length again. That seems to be his MO. That one's out to the sweep. It really should just be 1 this time, and it is. 59 for 3.
Well, at least he made up his mind that time what end he was going to throw to.
Yes.
Did help a touch.
Haven't seen too many boundaries in the last half hour or so.
No.
Masood's just doing what Masood does, though, isn't he? He's just accumulating.
He is really. That one's short, and maybe your batsman should have done better with that one. He just shoveled it down to short, fine leg to dive and stop. It's going to be another single. Scored off every ball so far this over, but 6 runs off 5 balls. Still, it's not far off. Pakistan needs 71 off 55.
It's a really filthy ball, that last one.
Yeah, he could have done more with that one. That's better. It's full on leg stump, clipped into the leg side. Fielder is in from the deep. That's the end of the over. 7 off it. 70 required off 54.
Brian Barry says nobody here but us jars of gefilte fish. And Warren says pounds or dollars, not much difference really. It's although the difference has increased slightly in the last couple of days. So that's all on Twitter right now.
It's increased slightly for now.
Yeah, for now.
For now. Probably until Sunak has to sack Braverman yet again.
You're wishing.
Hires her next week.
Yeah.
Right, it's going to be this man bowling. Oh, he's going to come in and bowl. Forget it. It's uppish, but it beats short third man. He did a pretty poor effort at that. Musrabani is after it, covering up for his mate. He hauls it in. It'll be at least 2. He might have got back for 3 there.
I think they did, yeah.
Yeah, not a very good effort. Rather, it was backward point. It went between the 2 fielders on the offside, and it was the wider one. Should have done a bit better with that.
To be honest, again, that's a poor delivery. It's not a great shot because he's falling off the shot, and it just happens to fall between the 2 fielders.
But because he fell off it, it kind of put a bit of spin on the ball.
Yeah,
spun it past the fielder. Williams giving a bit of miming to the fielder to suggest he could have done better. That one was tipped into the leg side, but he's got enough on it for Madaveri to come in and keep them to 1. 65 for 3, Pakistan set, so they're halfway there in the 12th over, which is more or less where you want to be.
Yeah.
They're pretty much on course unless they have a bit of brain fade, really.
It's always possible. That looked like a bit of a 23-24 yard ball, and it also looked like a bit of a wide to me, and the umpire agrees, and he has given it wide. Next one's tipped into the leg side. They're setting off for 2. I think they should get them. Perhaps not. I think a sent back there. Good bit of fielding.
Yeah, I think 2 would have given Bear exactly what he wanted. I think that would have been pretty suicidal.
Yep, good pick up and throw. So 6 so far of 3 legitimate balls in this over. And they need 7.5 and over from here. That one's tapped into the offside, and they'll take an easy single in the gap. Very good player of spin, Shadab. That's why he's been pushed up the Pakistan order for this tournament as A left-hander, and B, one of their better players of spin in that number 5 role.
But that begs the question, if you're Zimbabwe and you need wicket, should you be bowling something else?
Maybe. That one is chopped past point, and the cover sweeper is round. They're going to get 2 again. They're managing to keep it ticking along, Pakistan. No boundaries, but very few dot balls as well.
Well, Masood is just a great accumulator, isn't he? And they're milking the spin. So, hence what I said, really, that if you're Zimbabwe, you know that if Pakistan bat these overs out, they're going to win.
Sure.
So you have to try and do something else, surely.
You'd think so. That one's tipped into the leg side. It'll be another single, end of the over. We'll see what the Zimbabwe Brains Trust makes of that. In the meantime, what's happening with the Twitter Brains Trust?
Twitter's Brains Trust has gone to bed, I think. Decided this is a bad game and it's not worth staying up for, or there are better things to do in life. I don't know. So it's gone extraordinarily quiet. If you are there, just let us know you're there, apart from you, Brian and Warren, who've already told us that. Warren's got good reason to hang in, of course. Many people have decided, well, this doesn't really matter that much. It's interesting, Pakistan are going to be playing in Perth again on Sunday, so they're getting a good feel for the thing. It's got a feel of the boring middle overs about it at the moment, really, hasn't it?
Little
Just
bit.
sort of ticking over.
Well,
Pakistan don't have to do anything drastic, do they?
No,
that's the problem. They're not chasing 10, 11 and over. They're chasing 7.5. So they don't have to do anything silly, and they know that if they bat these overs out, they're going to win. So,
well,
and as we've said before, because South Africa lost a point to Zimbabwe through the washout, there's not even any pressure on them to do anything run rate wise either.
Not especially unless they get one rained off in a bit, but I was just going to say they'll be happy that they're playing both the games against the qualifiers in Perth, which is probably the most rain-free venue, or at least it seemed that way so far. That one's punched out to the deep man in the offside for 2. And Zimbabwe seem to agree with you, John. They've brought on Muzarabani, who's perhaps their most threatening seam bowler.
Well, they have to get Masood out. They have to get Masood out. That's the point. If you get Masood out, then he's the man that everybody wants to bat round. So if you can remove him, it changes the dynamics.
Drops that one into the offside. A misfield at point is going to... No, it's not going to cost a run. They thought, that's untidy bit of fielding all round. Misfield, a bad throw. The keeper dived over it, but somehow they still kept it to 1. And I don't think we've seen a dot ball in the last 14 balls.
No, I think you're right.
I feel a bit sorry for the wicketkeeper. He's done about 3 times as much running as one usually does, because every throw seems to end up in the middle of the wicket.
Yeah, not ideal.
It's not doing him much good.
So Pakistan 74 for 3, 12.2. It's very close to a runner ball. In fact, it couldn't be closer. It is a runner ball. They've still got Haider and Nawaz to come in next. That batsman got himself into a bit of a tangle there. He stepped away, then stepped back, then hit it about 2 feet in front of him. But against the seam bowler these days, that's an easy run. Batsmen know they can just set off with those ones they drop at their own feet, and they're going to be fine.
Yeah, because he's also got Muzarabani on the other side of the wicket, because he's bowling from that side, so he's got to come right across him.
75 for 3 it is. It has been a long day for anyone who's given it the full day with the 3 games today. South Africa beat Bangladesh, India beat the Netherlands, and Pakistan looking on the way to making it 3 out of 3 for the more favoured teams against Zimbabwe. They picked up another single there out to deep cover. Tomorrow, 9 AM UK time, we've got England v Australia. Always a big game, and particularly in the context of this tournament where a loss would make it very difficult for either side.
Yeah, let's be honest, it might be mathematically possible to qualify if you lose that game, but effectively it's loser goes home.
Yeah,
unless you're Australia, of course, in which case you are home.
They are home, yes, but you'd certainly be very reliant on other results. That's short, it's shovelled around the corner, out to square leg, again looking for 2, and they might get them. That's really right in the gap of everyone. The keeper had to field it, and as you say, John, keeper doing yet more running. He's run as much as anyone else in the field.
He'll sleep well tonight, that keeper.
Should do.
No, I think, to be honest, I think England's chances against Australia tomorrow, as I said last time I was on, I think are slim and none, and Slim's not padded up. So,
you should be getting your betting money out then, because you can get almost even money on Australia.
Yes, and frankly, I think the weather's going to play a big part as well. We may end up with a point each anyway.
Maybe. Muzarabani onto the pads, it's clipped into the leg side. Mid-on is round, but he lets it go for the sweep. They're going to come back for 2 again. And again, the man backing up is angry with the fielding there, and you get the impression that Pakistan know they can go for 2 because they don't really fancy the Zimbabwe throwing very much. I haven't seen much over the top of the stumps.
No, there isn't really a decent arm out there, is there? That's the problem. Yeah. But I was going to say to Messi that if it is a point apiece tomorrow, in some ways that makes the group even more interesting because it brings other people into it potentially.
Possibly, yeah. Some tweets God bless our listeners. Just reassuring us we're not tweeting into the void. Diana Patterson says, we is here, just a bit bored. The porn bot's here and just sends us a gif. Jeff Perkins says, we're here, but only to support Warren. Ombre Nuova says, still here, hoping Zimbabwe can pull off the unexpected. And Angelic Scooter says, still here, but writing a scorecard makes tweeting not that easy. Plus, I'm pretty sleepy.
Well, Sikandar Raza is back with his, as Jack called it, Narayan tribute act, and that was an inside edge off the pad that almost rolled onto the stumps, and it's a rare dot ball. Yeah, that could have been very close to the stumps.
It was just drifting in a fraction, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's bowling
That's what
round the
forced
wicket,
inside edge.
round the wicket to the left-hander. He gets that one up to long off, and that'll be a single. Oh, he's not giving it. No, it's a.
It's a bye.
No,
no,
not a bye, that one.
Can't be a bye. He's played it to mid off.
Don't know what the umpire's doing there. It's like in football when the referee just points in a random direction. No one quite knows what he's talking about.
Waving at someone in the crowd. What is that about?
Don't know. But anyway, it looked just like a run to me.
Answers on a postcard. Or answers in a tweet.
We've had a few odd ones in the last few games to confuse everyone. There was that 3 off the stumps on a no ball. That's going to be wide down the leg side. Yeah, the batsman signalled wide, and the umpire, who's having an idiosyncratic over, has eventually signalled the wide as well. There was that one. Do you remember the one in the South Africa-Zimbabwe game where it hit Quinton de Kock's glove in the last over?
Yes.
Not only was it 5 runs, they bowled an extra ball.
Well, they had to, because that's actually in the laws.
They've changed
Colin
the laws
Sider
now. Oh,
well,
and finally
I don't know when it was
Pakistan
changed,
have got going. He's picked that one up over long on. Yongwei with the dive. And it's woken me up in the jingle chair. It's the first thing I've had to do for about 5 overs because it's one of these. I think that surprised everyone.
Yeah, out of the blue, I think that was.
A bolt from the blue, and it was Shadab Khan picking that one up over long on.
Clear the front leg.
He's gone for it
a long
again,
way.
but I don't think he's got hold of that one. No, he hasn't. 6 and out. Williams with the catch, and Sikandar Raza chainsaw celebration from him, and that's a badly needed, but perhaps too late wicket for Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps that's opened the door just a little bit.
Yes. So Brian Barris says, I'm scanning 30,000 pages of contracts right now. You're the only exciting thing in my life at the moment. That I feel a bit sorry for you, Brian, if that's the case. Usage note from Ravi. He says, begs the question means argues the antecedent.
Yes.
It does not mean begs for this question to be asked.
Correct.
Just thought you'd like to know. Mayank says, morning all, it's 9:50 a.m, just waking up to see the score. Mark Zips with us. Hello, Mark. Speaking of the Zimbabwe Brains Trust, have we seen any evidence of them using those big flashcards from the dugouts to suggest new strategies? I think we saw them in the Asia Cup. Yeah, I haven't seen them at all this World Cup. I don't know whether there's been a ban on them or whether they're just not being focused on. They're a bit
England
weird.
had a spell where they were holding up numbers, sort of indicating which bowler should bowl. Anyway, Pakistan have a new batsman to the crease because that's how cricket works, and it's this man. He's facing up to Raza. Oh, that's straight in front. That's a decent shout, and he's given it.
Yes.
2 in 2 balls. Looks. I don't know if they're going to review, but it looks out to me.
Yeah, me too.
Haider is hanging around having a chat with Shan Masood. Shan Masood's probably saying, no, mate. Haider's probably saying, no, we got 2 reviews, and it's me. I'm good. They're still talking about it. They're going to review, but I think he's a goner.
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, at the very best, it'll be umpire's call on leg stump.
Well, I reckon if Madaviri was out earlier, that's absolutely dead.
That's one that I'd give out on a Sunday because I only give them out if it hits in front of off or middle and off, and that hit in front of middle and off for me. I certainly didn't see any bat anywhere near it. More like hitting in front of middle.
He's not hit it.
In front of middle.
It's in line.
Hitting middle.
And it's out.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
It's one of those where the batsman sees the first one, he really ought to just walk off and not waste any more time.
Yes, that's exactly right.
So, well, we're going to have official confirmation of this. Hits in front of middle and off, smashes into middle. It doesn't get more out than that.
Oh, that's
as
a Watsonian review.
As plum as plum.
It is.
Well, that puts a bit of spice in, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. Yeah, that's. I was thinking when the previous wicket fell that the stable door might be open, but the horse is about to run. But maybe not now. Maybe we've slammed the door again. But is my memory playing tricks on me, or did he drop a catch in the outfield earlier as well?
Maybe.
Hyder Ali.
Interesting from Pakistan. I was kind of expecting Asif Ali, but it's not. It's this man.
No, I was.
The winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this sun.
Of Pakistan.
Nice.
My word.
Bit of Shakespeare. And this is the third possible hat-trick we've had in this match. Could third be the charm in terms of hat-tricks? And it's Sikandar Raza who's doing the damage.
Well, Nawaz has got some making up to do after his final over against India. So and he didn't get a bowl today, so he'll be kind of hoping.
I think he's got a bat on it. If he hadn't got a bat on it, because it certainly hit his pad, no one's really interested, so he must have edged it. It was right in front. It was better than the previous hat-trick balls we've seen in this match. That was as good as Raza could do, but Nawaz got an edge on it, played it down, and there is no run. So it's 88 for 5 off 14, and this game's not dead yet.
No, it's not. Brian Barry says all of this rain in Australia at the moment makes me think the ICC should have paid the AFL a shit ton of money to have held the entire tournament at Marvel Stadium under the roof. Will the field be chewed up into sawdust by the final? Sure, but we'd have games. I got to say, I think that stadium isn't great for cricket. It's too narrow, the outfield's too spongy, and the drop-in's not very good. But I think the other thing is, although we've seen a lot of rain,
it's great.
well, yeah, it's got a roof. That's the great thing. But although we've talked a lot about rain, we've lost 2 games to rain, and 1 has been determined under DLS out of I think 22 games so far. So it's not a huge number that's have gone. We probably will lose some more, but it's. When you look at it, that's actually not that unusual. I still think it's the wrong time of year to be holding it in Australia. But, in the 2019 World Cup, we lost at least 3, I think possibly 5 games to rain. And
you mean the ODI
it's what it is.
You mean the ODI World Cup? Yeah.
Yeah.
There were more games in that as well, which backs up your point. Evans is in wicket to wicket. He's bowling round. I don't think he's going to get any joy there. The angle's not really with him, but it's another dot ball. Yeah. Shan Masood is still there for Pakistan. You'd think he is key. If Zimbabwe could prize him out, things might happen.
Yeah, absolutely. He is the one that everybody else is batting around.
I think they've gone up for this. They've sent this upstairs. Yeah.
Well, they're probably thinking they might as well have a punt.
Yeah, I think so. There was one in the first innings that surprised me, or maybe I'm thinking of one in the previous game. It's from what's against him here is he's bowling round the wicket from quite wide. It looks high.
It's very high.
It looks high as well. I don't think this has a lot.
Looks
going
high.
For
he is stuck on the crease, but that's going to be too high. Come on.
Oh, way too high. Yeah.
He's stuck on the crease, but it's too high.
Yeah.
But then I said that about Mazhar Rabbani earlier on, and it was out. So
I think that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. It would. I mean, it is the key wicket, and. Even if there's a 10% chance of being out, maybe
if it had been the Waz, I don't think they would have reviewed it.
No. Going to have a look now. It's in line. Umpire's call.
Ooh, umpire's call. Wow. So if he'd given it out, it would have been out.
It would.
Yeah.
But he didn't, so it isn't.
Very, very small margins. That would have been 88 for 6.
Yeah, that would have been.
Yeah, and it wasn't one of those umpire's calls. It's by millimetre. It was smack on the edge of umpire's call on out, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Right, so that was a bit unfortunate. A good effort. He's going to come round the wicket again. Similar, a little bit fuller. That one is played up towards long on. It'll be a single.
Well, of course, they'll keep the review as well, won't they? Because it's umpire's call. So
Still
they
got
didn't
2
lose
reviews.
anything by doing that.
No, 42 off 34. Pakistan require. They've got 5 wickets left. And Zimbabwe just doing enough to keep this game alive.
If Masood was to go, this really would get squeaky.
Yes, and he was a very...
Particularly bearing in mind what happened to Pakistan the other night, which you have to factor in, I think.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit different. They really collapsed bowling rather than batting. But yeah, it might play on their minds a bit. They'll be glad...
But it just becomes a tight one, doesn't it? That you then think, and we're supposed to win because we're the bigger, you know...
They're the overdogs.
We're the established nation, so
thought that.
all the pressure is on them, really.
If one team's an underdog, the other team must logically be the overdog. That one's on the pads. It's a good stop by the wicket keeper. It's run away from him. More running for him. Short, they still didn't get a run, and I think the striker was entitled to ask his partner why they didn't run through for that.
I think they did.
Maybe they did. Yeah.
No, they did run.
Probably a leg
Yes, they
by
did.
anyway.
Has he signalled a leg by?
Don't
or is it
know.
off the bat?
It looked like hip initially. Oh, if it was
I'm
off
not
the,
so sure.
If it was off the bat, then it was a
I
half
think it's a drop.
chance. Half a chance. Tough one. Backs away to that one. Plays it down in front of point. They'll pick up another single. We're going to have one more change at the end of the over. Bear, Messi and Jack will take you through.
Yeah, it's down in the scorebook as a run. That
So
one.
it's a chance. It's a very difficult chance, but it is a chance.
In fact, I think he did well to stop it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's probably saved 3 runs, but
And that was
and bearing in mind the amount of running they've made him do in the last few minutes, he's probably done well to go at all.
And that was Shah Masood as well. So living on the edge here. Bowler comes in again. It's clipped down towards deep square. It'll be easily 1. Just the 1. They amble through for 1. So 39 off 31, I think. It's a good over from Evans. Just the 5 singles and 2 pretty close calls. An LBW shout that was given not out and then umpire's call, and then half a chance of a catch down the leg side.
4 singles so far.
One more ball.
Yeah. He's going to come in 2, Shah Masood. They need 39 off 31 balls. Here he comes. Steps away, plays it down to backward point. Again, it's a misfield. Every run counts. Fielder is in behind him. It'll just be 1, I think. It is Evans 3 overs 1 for 16. That's very good. We should be having a change, but no sign of any actual... Oh, here we come. Movement round here. One more beer from the bear.
The bodies are appearing.
Steve Kellett says, Wiz here. So let me ask the obvious question. When South Africa play Perth, is it considered a home fixture? Well, South Africa are playing India on Sunday, and yes, there will be a lot of South Africans here, but there are also a lot of Indians here. So I'm looking forward to being quite fun to be at, put it like that.
We might say.
And Steve also said, somebody moved. Brian says, this is one of the things I despise about cricket. The teams are there, play the games, even if it means overlapping on others. I will never understand why, heaven forbid, there be more than one game happening at once. Well, you know very well why that is.
There aren't any more. Turn your camera off, John. Right,
I will. Farewell, gentlemen.
See you later.
See you, John.
Sikandar Raza is bowling the next over. First ball went for a single. Is that right, boys?
No, dot.
Oh,
yeah,
good stuff.
This I just imagined what I'm getting a look at his variations there.
Yeah. Very much. Oh, he's got it uphill. There's a stumping down the leg side.
Gone.
It's going to be a wide down the leg side, but stumped. And is that Shah Masood? It is Shah Masood. That's the one. It was a dart down the leg side. I think they'll take the wide, but they'll take the wicket. It's a wide. Don't often see that.
No.
No. Wide down the leg side. His back foot slipped out the crease. He fell over.
It was given out on the field as well, wasn't it? So it must have been a fair way out.
Yeah, he slipped and his foot went out. That was quite an easy one to give out.
Yeah.
And
Well
bloody hell, Pakistan are in trouble here.
Pakistan.
94 for 6. This is the problem when you play a lesser side. It's always, you don't want the embarrassment of losing, really, or what you can perceive the embarrassment of losing. But these teams have got through. It's a T20 World Cup. Anything can happen in T20.
That's true.
A lot of these sides.
But if Pakistan do lose this, they're going to find it very hard to get up with 2 losses from 2 games.
Well, they will indeed. This is the thing. You kind of expect to beat these teams. These are the games you kind of put in the bags, and you put the difficult games. You think we can probably lose one, you have to win the other.
It gives Zimbabwe half a chance.
It does give Zimbabwe half a chance because they got a point as well, didn't they, for a rained off
game?
The game we were talking about earlier against Pakistan. That's come in and gone on. Mohammed Wasim is a new batsman. It's gone on and hit his pads, and there's no run. Let's give him a jingle after this ball. It's kind of Raza is in. It's flat and it's out the offside. It's bunted out towards the deep. Now here's a chance for a run out coming up. I think I might have to give one more punt at a run out. I do like the run out, although it's costing me money at the moment.
How much are they paying on it at the moment?
16 to 1.
Whoa! For Pakistan?
But exactly.
That's amazing.
That's why I'm going for it.
Edged.
It could be 4 runs though. It is going to be 4 runs. An unlucky 4 runs. Just prodded forward off the outside edge inside the short third man, and Wendell's its way down to the boundary for 4. 32 required off 26 though. Just under 8 and over. Tails in essentially.
Yeah, I mean Nawaz is a bit of a player.
I mean, he can biff it, can't he?
Yeah.
He was the one who pulled it out the bag against India at the Asia Cup.
Yeah. He's no mug for sure. And they've got some long handle action.
Well, yes, most of them can give it a long handle. Tossed up outside the off stump. It's a dot ball.
I think the interesting thing will be whether Zimbabwe have still got a few overs of seam left, and I think in this match we've seen a lot of batters struggle with it. Lower order, it could be a task, I think.
Well, yeah, it could do.
Yeah.
That's tossed up, bunted into the offside. They're not running for the single. So it's 32 off 4. A nice round, even 8 and over. Over to you, Messi.
Interesting. Steve Kellett says, clucking bell, things is happening. And Angelic Scooter says, okay, that woke me up. That was probably the 2 wickets and 2 balls. And Indo says, there aren't overlapping games because sponsors want 100% bang for their buck. They've paid shitloads of money, so I fully get why they do this. Yeah, you knew that anyhow, Brian, didn't you?
There were overlapping games in the last one, weren't there? And it was really annoying.
Warren says to Brian Barish, who tweeted yesterday or the day before that he was waiting to be called onto a jury. He was waiting on jury duty. He says, I guess you pushed for a guilty verdict and the death penalty so you could get back to guerrilla cricket.
I did jury service. It was so much fun.
Really?
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's really interesting. And the people you sit with, what a range of people, huh?
Yeah, that was part of that was the scariest part of it, I think. It was a sex offender bear.
Okay.
Well, not guilty.
Not guilty. Okay.
Not a sex offender.
Not a sex offender. Blessing, is that Blessing or is that Ngavara? It's Ngarava is back. Richard. He's got 2 for 11. And he bowls that short, flashed out.
That's what I mean. I think this Pakistan
through to the keeper and there's no run.
The Pakistan tail might struggle with this a little bit. I think they just won't be used to that bounce, and you know they're handy bowlers.
Yeah, they are. He's got 2 overs left as well, so he's bowling out. Presumably Blessing's got 2 left, and they've only got 4 overs left, and their main men are bowling.
Just have a look.
I think they've got quite. I mean, that's not a very good ball. The ball he just bowled there, but it's within the margin for error that they've got to get it past some of these Pakistan batters.
Exactly. He's done the same again. Beating him on the outside end once more, and it goes through to the keeper. The only thing that's going to fuck up my run out bet here is that He's going to edge one of these through to the keeper. That's the
Yeah,
problem. The catch is always on in T20.
Blessing's only got one left.
Oh, okay.
Brad Evans has got one left.
That's the 4 then, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blessings probably bowls the 20th. Or does he bowl the 18th? And you leave it to Brad.
Then you got the 19th, the crucial 19th.
Well, crucial 19th. Comes from this end. There's an appeal for a top edge. There's an appeal from the bowler.
Tactical non-review, I reckon. He isn't going to hit it, is he? Look at him.
Well, the next guy probably hits it even worse, though, doesn't he?
It's Pakistan. It could be Bradman next.
Are they going to review? I think time's run out. Have they
reviewed? Do we really want him to go anywhere? No.
Well, they do need wickets.
They must
as well.
have reviewed.
They must have reviewed because they're all standing in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah.
Christ.
Well,
what is happening here?
Chakabva was pretty confident there was a noise on it.
Yeah. Umbrino Weber says, what happens if it hits the roof, and what happens if that gets caught? The minute it hits the roof, it's a dead ball.
Yeah. You know what? I think that's touched the glove.
Little glove.
I think there was definitely a little bit of glove there. Let's have a look. It puts me out of the water. Fuck this run-out business again.
Ooh,
no, it's nowhere near it. Well, it looked from the side on, it was off the glove, didn't it? But it's come nowhere near anything.
No. Well, I actually think that might be a blessing in disguise for Zimbabwe, because I don't think he's going to hit the ball at all.
No, if he keeps bowling there, he's not going to hit it, is he? 99 for 6, 32 off 21,
no,
3 dot balls in a row. Run rate climbing all the time.
Surely someone will do something for them.
Yeah, well, you say that.
Who's
going to do it? 32 required off 21. Flashed out again, missed again. Inside
well
the
bowled.
Oh, what's that?
No!
Wide. No, that wasn't a wide.
That's not a wide.
Went over the top of the bat, for fuck's sake. That's outrageous.
Fucking how much does an umpire cost these days, Pakistan?
Who's that umpire? That's outrageous.
It was a bit outrageous. That was nowhere near a wide, I wouldn't say. But actually, maybe not. Maybe it was. It seemed to go over the bat. I still think if it goes over the bat, it shouldn't be given as a wide. That one's in. It's dropped into the offside. They're going to go through for a quick single. Easy enough. 2 balls left in the over. Only 2 runs off it, including the wide. And they need 8 and over.
Up to 10s nearly.
Up to nearly 10s. Get it to 12s and things get tricky, don't they? Which means
I think they're already pretty tricky.
Well, I think they are when you've got 6 down.
I reckon Zimbabwe marginal favourites here, with the bowling they've got left, and the batting Pakistan have got, and on this pitch, big boundaries.
Certainly ease England's loss to, not that it helps because it's in the other group, but to Ireland yesterday. It's good when a minnow wins. I shouldn't say minnow, lesser team.
Why are we not allowed to say minnow anymore?
I don't know. You can say minnow, but it does seem a bit derogatory when they're not doing so bad. And I think minnow's less true in a short form tournament. That's into the pads as an appeal. Fucking useless appeal because it's going miles down the leg side and it'll be a leg by. It's alright. But it's alright. It's only the one. Unless they go for a stupid second.
No, surely not.
You never know, the camera work.
Oh, you mean the overthrow? I thought you meant the review.
Yeah. No, not the review.
No, not out.
30 off 20.
What?
I don't know what's going on. The score
Chiron. It's going all over the place.
They've not been particularly quick with this during the World Cup.
No, they haven't. Whoever's got it. I think that's one of the problems. They got inexperienced people doing these. If they picked up Sky or Channel 9 or somebody, Channel 7 or Fox, who are really experienced with this, I don't think they would have had quite as many.
They should
pay real money then, though, wouldn't
tournaments. Another swing, no ding. Who was that? I can't remember. I can't recognise who's playing.
Naseem, I think. Isn't
was
it?
That Naseem?
I think or Naseem had Naseem or Naseem.
Yeah.
They look quite similar.
Naseem.
You can tell from the lid, but obviously with a helmet on, you can't.
No.
So,
why don't we get the scorecard up? And
Brian is saying, I'm kicking myself for not entering the GPL. 300 quid could have bought me 20% of a World Series ticket. I'm also seeing too many people posting screenshots of their emails saying they didn't get picked in the lottery for tickets. I take it you mean they would normally pick them and they forgot to pick them or whatever it was.
How much is a... No, that's a World Series ticket. The Phillies are in the World Series, aren't they? How much is a ticket for the World Series then?
Well,
that's
well,
20%.
Presumably it's $1,500.
$1,500.
No, but that must be on the resale market. That can't be... That can't be saying £1,500 up front.
I mean, at the Super Bowl, I looked at some of the prices there. I don't think you could get a ticket for the Super Bowl for less than $2,000.
They got 7 games though.
Yeah, that's true, but you know. And Leah says this is probably the best game of the day.
Yeah, well, it is.
It's the only game of the day. Is.
Blessing Midoravani is in. It's guided down towards third man. They're going to get a single.
Oh, you know what to do now, Zimbabwe.
Yeah, just strangle it. Give away the singles and leave them what? If they get 14 off the last over, 15 off the last over, if they can keep them down to that, you'd say Zimbabwe in the box seat, wouldn't they? And I haven't got 1 point for a rained off game. It's only been on 3 points, and in the
and they have Bangladesh and the Netherlands to play.
Yeah, wouldn't that be interesting? Zimbabwe go through. Well, it's a World Cup. You're supposed to have these things happen.
Imagine if Zimbabwe
certainly put them in the box seat to qualify for 2024.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, Zimbabwe in top edge though, over the top of the keeper. That's a needed for Pakistan. Maybe better bowling at fuller. Although the short stuff they haven't been really able to hit, to be fair. It's 4.
Yeah.
24 required of 16.
Yeah, I mean the way they're bowling and the way they're batting, I'm almost surprised there wasn't a backstop in for that. I mean he's been nowhere near any of these deliveries.
No, exactly, and the most likely result is one off the top edge that goes over somewhere.
24 of 16, back in Pakistan's favour probably.
Yeah, 24 of 16. Midoravani is in. Oh, it's a slower ball. It's dinked up in the air. They're going to get away with that. Somehow he's got it into a space on the leg side. I mean, it was up in the air for ages, but there's no one close on the leg side, and bowler or keeper could get anywhere near it. But it's only a single. Singles are fine. I mean, if they get how many balls left? 12. So if they get 15 balls left, but it's down to 6. They're going to get 9 singles. They require 16 off the last over.
I don't think they'd get 16. I think Pakistan need 12 or lower off the last over. So boundaries are really quite hard to come by. In fact, the only ones we've seen in this stint have been 2 edges.
Yeah. Well, you've got no one who sees the ball clean enough to be able to hit it, do you? Short,
good bowling.
Guide by who's a lefty?
Nawaz.
I
think it was a slower ball into the pitch as well, and it's gripped and kicked up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's got the tennis ball bounce.
Tried to guide it, didn't get anything on it. It's a dot ball.
He's got some skills, Mazhar Rabbani, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Well, he's played in county cricket, don't you know?
Well, and anyone who's ever played in county cricket,
superstar.
Yeah. It's,
Well, this will be interesting. They get 3 points. They won't have much of a run rate, but they're a bit above Bangladesh, who are currently in 3rd place with 2 points, having a win and a loss. Full dropped into the offside. They've gone for a single. See, what I'm hoping for is they get desperate and they're going to have to go for a streaky 2. That's where my run out comes in.
I think
as long as they don't spoon it in the air, I've got a run out.
I think skied catch is the next wicket.
Yeah, it usually is, which is the annoying thing, which is why it's 16-1, because that's the most obvious way to get out.
Because they're going to have to, with 12, 13, but they're probably going to have to hit 3 4s in the next, or a couple of 6s or whatever, to get close. And that's going to require some elevation.
Yeah, but it could drop in the middle of nowhere and have to go for that's what I mean. But
so you're hoping if it goes miles up in the air, that drops in the middle of nowhere, and then for some reason there's a run out afterwards.
Yeah, they come back for the sneaky second.
Goodbye.
Wazim clears his front leg, tries to give it a big heave. Nowhere near it. Goes through the keeper. 22 required off 12.
Maybe his hair's in his eyes.
Well, we didn't think anyone was going to be on the low side of the GPL, did we? But there are a few.
Brian says, face value, I think that the World Series tickets start at 200, but they get resold for at least 1,000 up. I've just been looking for the Phillies games in the World Series. They are selling on average for $3,200 each.
Wow. 3.2.
For the Houston Astros, it's only $1,500. But obviously in Philadelphia, there's more money and more demand.
That's a lot of loot.
It's a lot of loot to go and see a baseball
Certainly
game.
is.
Wouldn't catch me doing that.
Wow.
Pakistan 109 for 6. The Zimbabwe fans are dreaming. 22 required off 12.
I feel like you should, in this day and age, it should be much easier to crack down on resale tickets.
Yeah, you think?
Well,
so,
these are
wouldn't
done through approved sites. So I think what happens is the MLB actually allocates seats, and the
take a
resale
cut.
people bid for them themselves on the basis of what they think they can sell them for.
Fool!
you? That's nicely clipped. But was he to come out for a second? Oh, fuck, there was my chance. God damn it. They fucked it up because the bloody keeper went out towards the ball. Didn't field it correctly, and they got back for 2. 20 required off 11. The Pakistan Hulk, he's losing his powers at 111 for 6.
Well, if they should send him in.
Well, they probably should, yeah. Just defend it for 6 because he's the Hulk.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Oh, this is a bit of a fuck up from the keeper, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably should have gone to the bowler's end as well because the batsman at the batsman's end.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if
Shumba's throw at the other end. Well, there might be another chance.
Anyway.
20 required off 11. Short again. That'd
Wide.
probably be given as a wide, wouldn't it? Let's have a look. No, it's not been given as a wide. It's been given 1 for the over. That's close.
That's
Marginal.
cancels out.
20 required off 10. That's 2 a ball. 12 and over. Gets tricky at that point, and you're basically down to 7, 8, 9, 10 jack.
Whoa.
Yeah. There's the guy who has to bowl the last over. Pressure
indeed.
Pressure cooker situation.
So who is that?
Well, it's the Evans
So
dude,
where are we
isn't
at?
it?
Brad Evans.
Brad
yeah.
Evans.
Yeah.
Swished. Oh, that's up in the air. Is anyone going to catch it? No, it's landed in Moban's land. And they're going to come back for a second. Come on up to the bowler's end. No! Oh! They've got back for 2 somehow. They went to the wrong end again. They are going to look upstairs. I think he was easily home, wasn't he?
Yes. I think direct hit out. What happened? No.
No. Well, it was basically a swat up in the air, went down to mid-on, didn't carry. It was a bit of a misfield down there. It stopped in the pitch. Guyver ran it. They threw it back to the bowler's end. Should have thrown it to the keeper's end. Who was coming back? Was it Wazim coming back? Coming back. He made the effort to come back.
I guess his
straight
wicket
away.
is expendable at this point, isn't
Well,
it?
it is. Well,
yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you what, his hands.
Yeah, if he'd taken it cleanly and made his hands move quicker, he might well have got him out. Instead, he
Shouldn't have been 2 in the first place, though.
Shouldn't have been 2 in the first place.
Misfield on the dink over.
Indeed,
Wow.
indeed. Oh, so I was so nearly in there. 85 quid if they run themselves out.
I think it's the run saved that would have made the most difference at this
well,
point. To be honest,
possibly.
as well.
Not for me, though.
Wazim's not doing
I'm just
shit.
chasing the cash. 18 off 9. Full. Oh! Full toss leg side. Whacked into the stand. That's gone a long fucking way. That has hit the tier on the second tier on the advertising board. That's a bad ball and it's got what it's deserved. Livens up the Pakistani fans. 12 required off 8. Suddenly out of nowhere.
Why is he going for that ball? They've had such joy back of a length for the last 3 overs, and he's
that slipped out of his hand.
You think that slipped out of his hand? Maybe he's going for the Yorker, but even so, as you say, just carry on banging in short of a length. They can't seem to get it away.
It's such a stupid.
Yeah, this isn't a time you should be trying to take wickets.
You've got to bowl at least
to get caught in the outfield.
2 balls left in this over. You've got to get out the over without conceding more than 3 or 4. I think maybe max 4. Maybe
You've got 2 balls left.
8.
Next ball, you want it to be a dot ball, and then hope that the last ball doesn't go for 4.
Nawaz will probably want to try and get himself back on strike for one of them as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
maybe he'll take a single this ball and just let Wazim have another swish.
Well, it's full. It's into the pads. It's been knocked out to deep mid wicket. They might not go for 2.
Oh, it's
Jesus,
a fucking
a
awful
poor
throw.
But they've not decided to come back. They've not decided to come back for the second.
Zimbabwe are panicking.
They are panicking. That's bad move.
Their fielding's been shit. It really has.
And Nawaz probably wants to be. I guess Nawaz thinks I'm the man to take this home. So if there's a dot ball here, he gets to be the hero.
He
with
gets to
11
blow
or 7.
another final over.
Yeah. Living off the past. 11 required from 7 balls. We never thought it would get this tight. It's not really a bear game, is it? After all that.
Oh, that 6 is going to be the thing, though, isn't it?
Oh, drama. That's 6-2, 11 off the over so far.
120.
Pakistan need 11 off 7.
Got to dot it up.
Got to dot it up, indeed. Oh, just as you say, short of a length, especially for a right-hander.
Yeah.
I would stick the fly slip it. No, don't bring third man.
This is stupid.
Stick third man as a flying third man.
They're bringing up third.
No, this is
Which
where
is
this is
just
where
an
he
error.
finally gets hold of
Oh,
it. Gets a
no.
little top edge
The
over
four
the top.
runs over
slip.
the keeper's the way to
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, clearly, I mean, presumably, if he's brought him up, he's not going to bowl short.
I don't understand why you wouldn't though, because the guy literally can't hit the ball.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here comes. He's gone right across.
Be a wide.
Now that
It
shouldn't
can't
be
be
a
a
wide
wide.
because he's gone all the way
No,
across.
he's gone. Yeah, it's a good ball.
So
good
that is a good
umpiring.
ball. He's followed him. 11 required off 6. Nawaz facing. Wow, who'd have thought that? 120 for 6. Pakistan.
So
Who's on
here's the
sweep?
thing. In the GPL, if they finish on 123, I win. If they're 125, JB wins. 131, Warren wins. And if they go more than they need, 133, I win. So I think Warren is still in the box seat, to be honest.
I don't know. I think you're all kind of there, aren't you? 3's probably unlikely off the last over. What was the other one? 123.
Yeah, 123, 125, 131, and 133.
See, you could quite happily see 8 off the over, which would be quite annoying for everyone, but it means the house will win once again, and the rollover price tomorrow will be 330 quid. But yeah, never mind. As I keep saying, we've got to pay out sometime, but the longer the better.
Leah's got a theory on why World Series tickets are cheaper in Houston. She says the Houstonians don't want to go watch the Astros as they're embarrassing cheaters. And Warren says Bears pleading for a run out is comedy gold.
Come on, I still need that.
There should have been a run out though.
There should have been a run out.
Yeah.
There might well be in this last over, let's be honest. If he doesn't spoon one up in the air, I think run out's probably the next best thing, isn't it? Desperately trying to run through for a run.
the odds? Are they still offering 16 to 1 on a run out?
I don't know. You'd have to go and
What's
check.
the,
But I've got my money in already. So
super over situation.
Well, presumably if it's a tie, it's a super over. Brad Evans is in. It's
That's
hit
over.
out. Oh, that's going to be 4, isn't it? Are they going to chase it down? They're going to get it inside.
Can't see.
Fucking come on! The stupid fucking cameraman goes to some Pakistan fucking fan in the fucking thing. We can't see whether
Not
it's
the
gone
cameraman,
before. They've
the
chased it
director.
down. Someone's kind of pulled it back in.
He looks guilty.
He does look guilty, but you only saw it from behind. You got to see it from the front. I think he's just. No, he's got.
He's
He
done
saved
it.
that.
He's
saved
done it.
that. So
And it's
it is
going to
only
be
3
Wazim
runs.
on strike.
Well, yes, exactly. Interesting stuff. I mean, that's fucking appalling camera work.
It is
Come
terrible.
on. Why aren't you following the ball?
It's not the camera work, it's the director.
Great effort.
Well, yeah, it
revealed.
is the director. The director is an idiot. Great bit of fielding, though, to haul it back in. 8 required off 5.
Oh my god. Couple of dot balls. You got to sneak one past Wazim here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super over?
Well, is it the regulation, or does it go to? Is it a tie?
Ooh.
No, I think
it's
I'm pretty sure the super over and everything. As long as many as you need.
I don't think you can
this
have a
ball's
tie in
gonna go
T20
for- I
these
think
days, can you? Even in a major competition. So 123. You don't need to score any more runs then, Messi. Brad's in. Slower ball hit straight down the ground. It's going to be 4. Oh my God! Don't bowl a slower ball, you muppet.
Shit.
4 required off 4. Just try and get it in a block hole or short of a length.
Yeah, I think.
Which brings Warren Davis right in it because 4 required to win. We'll give him his money.
Realistically, you that's the only way that Wazim was going to hit a 4 cleanly.
Yeah.
So if you bowled a pie.
Exactly.
Just put pace on. Even now, I think if you went pace on short, he wouldn't hit the ball.
Well, precisely.
I want a 6 now, please.
Ooh, hands on it. It's gone down to mid-off. Thing is only need singles now, so he won't go for the second. 3 required off 3. Need a dot ball.
Probably need a wicket, realistically.
Probably need a wicket, actually, yeah. Wazim can't believe he missed out on that. Maybe he's finally got his eye in. He's been in there for a while, hasn't he? You hit that reasonably cleanly.
Yeah. Pakistan's to lose big time now.
Yeah, they're going to fall though, of course, now, and no one wins the GPL.
Well,
bummer, because it'll be what 260.
Well, I think this is where I bet they try and play tap and run.
If they do that, I'm still in with a run-out chance. They've got 3. Well, this is sensible. They've brought people up inside the circle as well. So square legs up, mid wickets up, mid ons up. Let them hit it over the top, which will be a 4, which means the GPL will roll over and Pakistan will win. Wazim is facing. It's up there. Oh, it's gone through. They're going to attempt the run out.
No, he didn't go for it. He didn't go for it.
Wazim wanted the bye. He was sent back. So 3 required off 2. Super over is still on.
Yeah.
2 off
this
2.
is fun.
2 off 2 brings a super over, and again, if it's a super over, no one wins a GPL.
That is it. Andy's in the corner saying just bowl 2 of those, and if he gets lucky, he gets lucky. But they've shown nothing to suggest they actually can hit that ball.
Well, no, and if he bowls another one of them and they attempt the run, there's a good chance of a run out too, isn't there?
Which is the main thing, isn't it? I'm sure that
it is the main thing.
Word has reached
the main
Perth
thing is that
stadium.
the total doesn't end on 261, and somehow I get a run out, and those are the 2 main things that we need to concentrate on. As Evans is in, round the wicket, spoon in the air, it's got to be out, surely, it is out, oh my word, fuck, 128 for 7, 2 required, 1 ball left, they've done
it again,
Nawaz has spooned it to mid-off, they require 3 off 1 ball, and of course with the new laws, even if they cross, the new man has to face this, they require 3 off the last ball. Christ almighty. He can't believe it. He's down on his haunches in the pitch.
You got to feel for him.
You do have to feel for him a little bit. The field was up, and it's a good choice. You know, bring the field up, let them go for it. If they miss-hit it, you're out. And it certainly was. It's up near the sticker. Just
1 more of those.
1 more of those. There's just not enough elevation on it, is there?
It's near. He's caught that in such a weird way. His crocodile caught it.
Yeah, and 128 for 7. No winners at 128, Messi, are there?
I tell you what, if there is a super over, a whole lot of people come back to life in the GPL.
And that's true, they do. But they've got to, they need 3, so they've got to get 2. God, you've got to go for a run out of the last ball, haven't you? Because you've got to get 2 to get to a super over.
Hold on. Super overs, they count in the GPL.
Well, I don't think they should, but...
You're the fucking competition runner.
Well, exactly, and I...
Where are the terms and conditions?
The terms and conditions on the website, and it basically comes down to me. It says we reserve the right to blah blah blah, as you always do in a competition. Yeah, I'll make a judgment on it now. We'll carry on. If it goes to a super over, we'll carry on. It'll count.
So the runs in the super over
will count, yeah.
Good God.
I think that's fair. I think that's
good
fair.
God.
It's total runs scored in the game is the name of the game.
I think Afridi's going to hit this into orbit, like out of Perth, into the Great Swan River.
Well, he's a big hitter.
Yeah, I'll just say, he's got that killer instinct.
Yeah, he does. He sounds like this.
It's always time for Shaheen.
Here he comes.
Right, here he comes. Last ball. Brad Evans. He's smashed it down towards long on. Oh, it's going to be a run out. It's gone up towards the keeper. Oh, he's fucked it up, but he's run him out. He's run him out. He's fucked it up. He's misfielded it at the keeper's end, but he eventually picked it up, took the bails off. Shaheen Afridi was nowhere in the picture. They got 1. They came back for the second. Pakistan have lost by a run. Can you fucking believe that?
Amazing performance from Zimbabwe. Like when they'd almost thrown it away, and Sikandar Razvi gets those 2 wickets, and then Pakistan get up and they get another couple of breakthroughs. They get Mohammad Nawaz when he's on the doorstep of taking Pakistan over the line. They drop the ball for the run out.
Yeah, they did.
It looks like it's going for a super over, but they still recover.
He had time, didn't he? I mean, the throw was a decent throw. It was at the keeper. He fumbled it first time, but Shaheen Afridi was so far behind the 8 ball. He must have been only just turned around when it got.
I'll tell you what, as well, in all of this, Brad Evans isn't even celebrating. He's just relieved that he's got out of that with the win. He's lying on his back.
Can you believe it? I mean, that is astonishing. We never saw that on the cards when Zimbabwe got a 1-3-1. And that goes to prove, that 10th wicket stand, actually, we were all taking a piss that no one else could bat. They should put them higher, but it's gotten through to just about getting there. Unbelievable, really. I mean, that was a low score. It's a pretty decent batting trap. And somehow, Pakistan have fucked it up.
Let's hear it for Pakistan, who have come out with 2 of the most incredible finishes and come out on the wrong end of both of them.
Yeah,
and as you say, with Mohammad Nawaz being the last wicket anti-hero in both games.
So what was the final score? 259 for the GPL, is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. And nobody got it.
And nobody got it.
House wins.
Fuck me, that's incredible. I didn't really think that was going to happen.
And you won your bet?
No, I didn't, because the man out was before he was caught. wasn't he?
Oh no! Oh, right.
And
I
they
thought
wouldn't
you
let
might-
me. They wouldn't let me offer a run out for the last ball.
Are you
of
right?
Course, yeah.
I thought you would have mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Never
What an
mind.
incredible
indeed.
cricket match that was.
So
Quite remarkable.
Another great one in this tournament where they've been, every other game seems to go the distance.
Well, it's a funny thing what you can do, can't it? You play these lesser teams and you think, man, there should be a rollover. And as soon as it gets a little tight, you think, I don't want to lose to these guys,
Well, I'll tell you what. Pakistan will think long. I mean, that game they lost to India, it was just madness. They might think a bit longer and harder about this game, and only Shan Masood of the top 6 has really shut out. Got a few, has really scored any runs. That was the key wicket, that leg side stumping. I mean, he would definitely have seen them home, you'd think. But really, they just always seemed to be in control, and then suddenly, once Wazim came in and Zimbabwe started bowling, Muzarani and Nagava started bowling very well back of a length. He had that spell where they just could not lay a bat on it, and suddenly it went up from 7 and over to 10 and 11 and over, and they just hung on it. And we were all, you might have not heard me off mic, I was sort of shouting at them to bowl back of a length again, and they didn't even do it last couple of balls. They got away with it,
and they got 6 and 4 in that last 2.5 overs as well.
Yeah,
still couldn't get over the line. What an incredible game!
I keep looking at the scoreboard just to make sure they have actually won. It doesn't. It didn't feel like they were winning.
No,
at any stage. Wow.
I mean, I can imagine. I mean, the effigies of the hour, weren't they? Getting burnt in.
Well, I mean, the positive, the Zimbabwe fans who have been, dancing and doing their best this whole tournament in very cold qualifiers are absolutely
many of them have
buzzing.
never seen a cricket game before.
Absolutely buzzing, and rightly so.
Proud of their nation. Good on them.
Yeah, they deserve it as well.
They're our team as well. They are Gorillas Cricket's team.
Of the two teams here, they might not be the best, but they played the braver cricket. I think but Pakistan in that power play earlier on, instead of trying to win the match, they just assumed that at some point Zimbabwe would fold.
Yeah, exactly. And at some point, someone pick up the cudgels and get them over the line.
That's not how it works.
No,
Zimbabwe aren't. They've got players.
Yeah, they have, and they've got a couple of decent bowlers. I mean, those bowlers are bowling up at high 80s and early 90s. Bowling good lengths, are getting some action on the ball, getting some decent swing early on, and a little bit of the short of a length stuff later on.
Yeah, what I think it was, I don't think they are bowling that quick, but they're bowling from a hell of a height. Muzarani and Nagarava.
Yeah,
Nagarava 6'4", Muzarani 6'7".
Yeah,
they're bowling what to a lot of other bowlers would be a good length, but then they're getting that through the chest, and that's what the Pakistan late middle order couldn't deal with.
Yeah.
And honestly, we thought they'd blown it with that big leg side full toss.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But not so. We got any last tweets there, Messrs?
We've got quite a few, and I think we should go through them today. Angelic Scooter says, this has been fun. Thanks, everyone. It has been fun, hasn't it? Warren says, Pakistan gets the run out, going for 3. Bear is happy.
No, I wasn't.
Brian Barry says, USA love Pakistan. Can't bloody beat Zimbabwe. Brenda Weaver says, what a game, and thanks for the coverage, Planet GC. Brian says, my comedy run-out prediction was correct. Angelic Scooter says, holy shit, cricket, am I right?
Yeah.
Yes, you are. John Batham says, Pakistan have checked again and are out. They'll be dancing on the streets of Cape Town. And Steve Kellett says, and this, peeps, is why Pakistan fans are the only ones who can hold a candle to England fans for sheer unbridled pessimism.
Yeah, there is a bit of that.
And Brian Barry says, it's going to end up being Zimbabwe and Ireland in the final. Just you watch. Leah says, that was fun. Pakistan are nothing if not entertaining. And Joseph Mordecai says, the forgotten full nations that sadly are treated like associates still final would be great for the sport. And Warren says, lots of fun. Thanks, everyone. See you at 4 a.m. tomorrow, which is 8 a.m. your time, Bear, is it?
Tomorrow? I think it's 9 a.m. start, isn't it? I'm hoping so.
I think it's a 9, yeah.
I think it's a 9.
I've got a ball-by-ball stint that's going to...
I might turn up if someone's here early enough to turn on the computers. I won't be here. If not,
yes, it is. It's 9 a.m. Oh, it's 4 a.m. Eastern United States time. Yeah. So yes, be with us tomorrow. We've only got the one game we're covering tomorrow. There is another game between Afghanistan and Ireland, preceding the England one at the MCG. So goodness knows there's quite a bit of rain around for tomorrow, so anything could be happening.
Well, this is it. It's one of those ones where you want to win a toss, bat second, and hope you don't fuck it up like we did the other day. But hey ho, there you go. Is that the end of the tweets?
Yeah, what a game.
It is.
It is. Well, I can say no one won the GPL. Woo! The bank won again. £308 it starts out tomorrow. Woohoo! You're in for a treat if someone gets there. I'm just hoping it gets up to 400. Not to be greedy, but obviously I'm going to have to pay out at some time. But I don't think we've ever got to 400.
Why don't you keep 100 in the pot to keep the interest rolling next time?
We have to. No, it's not fair, is it? I mean, the prize is the prize.
You just said yourself. You're the banker.
When I win, I usually leave 30 or 40 quid in the pot.
If someone says to me, exactly, if someone says leave some in the pot, I start the next pot off with 20 plus whatever someone leaves. So.
That's such a good celebration as well.
He just really fucked that up, didn't he?
He has.
It was nowhere near it. It was bobbling around. And look, Shaheen Afridi still wasn't in the picture, and it bobbled around for ages. So yeah, imagine if he'd have fucked that up and he'd have got home. And there would have been a super over. Jesus, yeah. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you everyone for listening. That was exciting at the end. We weren't really expecting that, but that's turned out to be an absolute cracking game. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 10 to 9. Hopefully there'll be some cricket with no rain. And until then, we'll see you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take large, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time has come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Carol Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than red counters and a slice of cake. But first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act. But people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pasco, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, guerrilla cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we